to it.
Then I'll second.
Motion by Wayne, second by Teresa. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Do I have a motion by Wayne, second by Teresa?
What do I do
Any
different?
further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion
The
carries.
computer?
Plug that audio cable.
This one here?
All in favor? Aye.
Computer? Sorry.
It's behind.
This one here?
Go back to your Zoom.
You can just put mute on the TV so you can drive.
Mute your
Yeah, very cool.
No, we have to have audio. I'll just leave it like that. We'll see if it's working.
Oh, mute the speaker.
Yeah.
And just click on that. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's gonna be one of those nights. Do I have a motion to appoint the attorney at John Bowers Law Firm?
Make that motion.
Motion by Teresa, so I have a second.
A second.
Second by Brad. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Do I have a motion to appoint Chief of Police Eric Whitehead?
I did not make that motion.
Motion by Teresa, do I have a second? Second by Wayne. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Do I have a motion to appoint the engineering firm, Forsgren and Associates?
I make a motion that we force in and Apex.
Apex, right?
Or merge with Apex, or yeah, Apex.
I have a second. Motion by Wayne, second by Teresa. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Do I have a motion to appoint the town clerk, Tracy Whitehead?
I make that motion.
Motion by Teresa, do I have a second? Second by Charles. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Do I have a motion to appoint the council president, which is currently Wayne. I would recommend that it stays Wayne.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Teresa, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Charles, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do I have a motion to accept the current department assignments that we have?
Make-
Your job, you assign.
I make a motion that we accept the assignments that we have.
Motion by Brad, second by Teresa. Any further discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Do I have a motion to appoint the judge as Rod Jensen?
Okay.
Motion by Wayne, second by Teresa. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. And I inadvertently forgot one of the clerks. We need to appoint the court clerk,
That's right.
Barb.
I'll make the motion. We appoint Barb as a quick clerk.
Motion by Teresa to appoint Barb Sorensen as court clerk,
You second.
second by Brad. Any further discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. All right. Awards and public recognition. We have a pretty big one today. We need to talk about. Canine officer Dauntless has served the town of Cokeville very, very well. I'd like to turn some time over to Chief Whitehead.
I don't know if that's good. So. I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't. Douglas has been here for. Well, right now, he's the oldest officer we have, longest serving. He was purchased by the town in December of 2017. So that's just a little over 8 years ago. It was a lapse in his time of about 9 months of serving. Where he's in kennel in between officers. He's been with me for almost 4 years. Fortunately, like I said before, he has had some health issues. He doesn't know it. But he is having some, so it is time to retire. We'll see if this works. Ask the county for some help. And we'll see if how it works for us. So. Gunner, see you.
Stevie, want to go ahead?
So we can't run on this time, put it to.
Stevie, want a copy? Attention, all first responders, prepare to copy 1042, final call for retiring Cokeville K-9 Dauntless, break. Continuing, it is with deep honor that today, January 13th, 2026, we recognize K-9 Dauntless going off duty for the final time. Break. Continuing, K-9 Dauntless, thank you for 7 years of dedicated service to the citizens of Cokeville and Lincoln County. You assisted in taking hundreds of pounds of controlled substance off the streets of our town and county. You performed your duties with dedication. Now you can enjoy the remainder of your days relaxing, playing fetch, and destroying soccer balls. Great. Continuing, K-9 Dauntless, enjoy your retirement and thank you for your service. This concludes K-9 Dauntless's final call at 1917.
If he still wants to play. I hate to get emotional. But. He's been a great partner. And a great asset to the town. For years, even before I was here, it was a great asset. He will be tough to replace. Well, hopefully Harley can step up and do it. I appreciated the time that I got to spend with him, working with him. And I know we've talked about it before and everything, and I appreciate the chance of you guys are giving me to stay with him. He's like one of our kids. He thinks he's a bad dog. And he'll sit on our laps and it's pretty tough. But I am glad that I found out we need to work with him. I don't know if there's anything else you want to say.
We decided we'd save you a few soup cans in your house.
I wouldn't say that either.
That's not.
And give him a
I've
bone.
got some.
Great service.
He did, when I first took him home. He got bored and he did. Open some tomato sauce cans. Evaporated milk cans. So we went home one day and. It looked like the crime scene in the program with tomato sauce everywhere. So then you have powerful teeth.
Oh, you know what we're doing.
He'll give up his toy for a treat. So I'm gonna go put him in the office because he's gonna make a mess in here without running.
Thank you, Dauntless.
Douglas.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.
Thanks for.
Eyeballs are sweating. Dauntless did serve us very well. He was a great investment by the town. And I think our next K9 will be the same way. As the chief said, he was the longest serving officer that Cokeville had at the moment. And I appreciate that. Is there any other awards or public recognition?
I have some public recognition. I'd like to recognize Amy Peck. I have been impressed of what you do as a Cokeville correspondent in the Kimmer newspaper. It's very nicely done, and I appreciate you very much.
Thank you. Any else?
I'll recognize Tracy for taking the initiative, doing the research and setting up the auto pay on the website. Just those little things to get, new numbers more often. I think this is a good thing. So I appreciate that.
Any others? Okay. We move on to unfinished business. We have the unfinished business of the coin design. Council members came in earlier and cast their votes for the coin design for the coin that will represent the 250 years of America for Cokeville. And we had a common unanimous decision. And it turns out that Kay Thompson is the winner of our Cokeville coin design. We wanted to kind of get a view of it. This is what it looked like. We'll get this submitted to the county and they'll have it added to our coin for our celebration. Appreciate the Cokeville High School for participating in this and supporting it. I think it's great that we have youth involved in our community and doing the things that we're trying to do to present ourselves into the public. They stepped up and had a pretty good deal with this. Appreciate that. Yeah. Do you have any other unfinished business? We move on to new business. We have the lease for the Lincoln County Conservation District and the senior center. Would separate those out. We discuss one at a time, if you could, please. I have a motion for the Lincoln County Conservation District. By Wayne,
I'll second.
second by Brad. Do you have any further discussion on this lease? What is the lease? Total rent for this lease is the sum of $3,000 a year. Couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but it's the one office they use, and then they got a storage unit that across the hall.
Looks like 550.
But yeah, it should have been at least. Further discussion, we'll go ahead and call this to vote. All in favor of accepting the lease agreement for the Lincoln County Conservation District?
I,
Motion carries. Do I have a motion for the lease agreement for the Cokeville Senior Center?
I move that we accept this lease agreement with the Cokeville Senior Center.
Commissioner Teresa. Second,
Reserves the same.
their amount is $3,720. Basically a year.
What was the other one?
$3,000.
That's I think we'll stay, right?
And guesstimation wise, it's probably at least double. Plus they use quite a bit more utilities.
I guess something needs to be looked into.
Are we in the discussion, maybe this?
Yeah.
Okay.
We had a motion to. Can you read back to me what we got, where we're at?
Have a motion to accept.
So you call for a motion, but nobody's motion yet.
She motion. But
Oh, I mean-
second.
That's, I apologize, wait, I'll have a second.
I'll second it.
Second by Brad. Further discussion?
I'd like to look into, I think, you know, for the amount of space that's occupied by the Lincoln Conservation District, and the amount of space occupied by the senior center, and the amount of electricity that is used. I think that lease could be up a little bit.
Okay. Do we, you want to go forward with this current lease and work with the senior center this year to come to common ground, or?
Yeah, I think that's what,
Well, I make a comment.
Yeah.
Last year, you know, that there was discussion to charge them the same per square foot that you charge Lincoln County Conservation. And I don't think they get charged for the dining room anymore. So that's why there's this less,
Right.
as we share that. We share some of that space, and they keep it within that budget. That's what it is the last year.
Yeah, we basically deleted the hallways, the dining area, and the sitting area out of the charge.
as co-use.
But even at that, they still got quite a bit more space. Their storage, with their storage areas in the kitchen. It's an office.
Just as a thought, on principle, you have two entities that, you know, have taxing capabilities, and noteworthy. And so does the town always bear the brunt of the inflationary costs that we experience? You know, how we pass that on to other taxing entities in a way that's fair. I know on one hand, they just provide some very valuable service to the community. So the conversations from 20 years ago were saying, well, we'll basically subsidize them because of that service. But we have to balance those considerations. And I think that's a, you know, Wayne's recommendation to say, let's take this year to analyze what it might be going forward, you know, sensitive to their financial situation.
I agree with that.
We're always, if I'm hearing this right, we're accepting the lease as it stands, and then making this year an evaluation year and having ongoing discussions with the lessee. And
I'm doing common ground.
For future leases.
I'll do that.
All in favor of that,
Aye.
motion carries to accept this lease. Okay. Mr. Dave. Be nice to us, we're just a small town,
Always.
we try our best.
Mayor Peck and members of the town council. Pleased that I could be with you tonight. We found that people don't like to listen to our presentations as much as we've always thought they do. But believe it or not, so we've kind of pared it down a little bit. We go over the discussions that we need to have with the town council. We hit a few high points, and then we talk about the findings that we'll have. Have you guys, have any of you seen the financial statements? Okay, so I will keep it very basic and then very broad for you tonight. If any questions come up after you have a chance to look at them, everybody knows where to find me.
They all have a copy of this.
Okay,
but
okay,
I don't know if they've had a chance to look at it.
right, okay.
Say just be.
Tracy knows how to get hold of me. I can answer questions if something comes up after the fact. We have, on page 44 of the report. So I'll give you a second to get there.
Almost to the very back.
We kind of use this as the blueprint now, for guiding our presentation forward. The first thing at the top is it tells you immediately whether you received an unmodified opinion on your financial statements or a modified. Unmodified is what you want. And you'll note on the right-hand side of the top, a little paragraph there, it says you received an unmodified opinion. What the unmodified opinion means is your numbers might not be correct, but if an individual, a reasonable individual, read your financial statements, they would get the correct belief about how the town has operated and their financial position as of June 30th, 2025. Okay, so that's what the unmodified opinion means. In the next section, we talk about some of the findings that you might have. The first one's a material weakness. A material weakness is when we're auditing the town, we need to look at the internal controls. And if there's something that we see that we're like, hey, you guys really need to look at this and you'll need to look at it hard, that would be material weakness. If we notice something that it's like, hey, we need to bring this to your attention, and we think you need to give it some thought, but it's not real dangerous at this point in time, it's what we call a significant deficiency. You have that, okay? The last section is there non-compliance? Is the town non-compliant with a state statute? And then we need to disclose that if that situation actually occurred, okay? You'll notice that did occur in the current year. So we'll talk about that later. I just wanted to hit on a couple high points with respect to the general fund, which is the operating fund of the town, and the water and sewer funds, okay? Just some high points. If you go back to the general fund, and that would be on page 8. No, excuse me, 6 first. You will note, and I've got to get there myself, that at the top of the page, you've got cash and investments. And if you add those two together, it's roughly $960,000. Okay, so you've got that at your disposal sitting in the general fund. You've also got receivables, which again would be turned into cash in very short order. And then you've got prepaid expenses, which won't be. what a prepaid expense is like insurance, and that's mainly what this is. If you pay for your insurance policy, say for the entire year, you've got some value left as of June 30th. Because you paid insurance that is going to give a benefit to the town for the remaining 6 months. That until you have to pay your premiums again in December, January timeframe. Okay, so that's really not cash. So you've got 960, you've got roughly a million and $1,010,000 to offset the $91,000 of liabilities you've got in the middle of the page. And you can see that 91,000 sitting there.
I think I'm on the wrong page.
91's in the middle of the page on page 6. That's your accounts payable, your accrued payroll. So accounts payable are something that you already have got the goods or services for. And you've got to pay a bill, but you hadn't done it as of June 30th.
Your book's
I
different.
think your book's different than ours. I don't have that.
Sorry, I'm talking about page 8 and I'm looking at page 6. No, I'm not. I actually am not. I am talking about page.
Page 5.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, these are different. You're right.
Yeah, we're on
Yeah,
five.
you're on page
We're on
Page
five.
5. Sorry.
I was
folks.
like, I'm looking way the wrong spot.
Yes, no, I was speaking a different language. I apologize.
I was really trying to follow you too.
I think you recognize that blank. with
I
the-
got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
It's like, no, mine looks okay. Yes, so. The reason I'm pointing this out is the general fund is in a very strong position. You've got good assets with not many liabilities, quite honestly. So. Let's go to page 8 now. Okay,
Is
So-
that,
so you-
is that 7?
that's 7, thank you, yes, please, yes. Page 7.
Revenues and expenses.
Yes, the revenues and expenses, I wouldn't want to look at, you've had revenues in the general fund of $830,000. You had expenses of 803, okay? Now, of that 803, you actually had 99,000 in lease expenses that you really didn't pay. It's for the police vehicles that you purchased. In this government, for whatever reason, when you get a lease, they make you recognize, even though you didn't get any money, you received 99,000 of value. But you also paid 99,000 of value, even though you didn't make those payments, okay? The reason I point that out is you actually had about 830 minus 700,000 of expenses. You actually had positive net income, cash flow net income, about 130,000 in the general fund this year. That's wonderful. Because the general fund oftentimes helps the water and sewer funds. And if we go to the water and sewer funds now, and that would be on page, let's see, it would probably be page, what I want to look at would be page 10 for you.
Yeah, I got it.
On the bottom. Yeah, okay.
Okay. And what I want to, and we talk about the proprietary fund, and for you, those of you who have listened to me before, I like to bring this into focus. Water and sewer funds, raising rates is not a good thing. But it's my job to come in and say, but you got to watch it. Because you don't want to get in a position where you're upside down and now we've got a real problem. So I have you look at this before we get there. In the water fund, we had 128,000 of operating revenue. We billed people 128,000 for the services we provided. If you take the depreciation expense away from the expenses for the operating expenses for water and sewer, you had 148,000 of expenses. Okay. And all I did there is took the 198,000 minus the basically 50,000 of depreciation expense. Okay, so in operations alone, you were upside down in the water fund by $20,000 this year. Now, you can have up and down and 90,000, I mean 20,000 we can live with, unless it happens year after year after year. So I bring that to your attention because it's something that the town council needs to watch. And make sure that we're able to pay our bills. recognizing, and I know proprietary funds, which the water and sewer funds are, they're supposed to operate like a business, which means they're supposed to pay for themselves with the revenue they generate. None of them actually do that. No lunch fund does it in a school district, no water and sewer fund does it in a town. We expect to help them a little bit. We want to make sure we don't have to help them a lot. Yes,
Okay, Dave,
yes.
how do you recommend we solve that when you have?
I'll tell you what, it's look at your costs. And if you have to raise rates, you have to raise rates. I mean, that's the only answer. That, I mean, you know, because you can get grant money, but grant money generally comes in to help with capital type expenditures. So that's not paying the bills, that's building the infrastructure, that's putting in your, upgrading your water lines or your sewer lines and stuff like that. So operations, really, the state doesn't have many grants, or the feds don't have many grants to help with operational type stuff. They just don't, it's for capital. And that isn't the case for you in the current year in the water fund. You received pretty good grant money. You also spent a lot of general fund money along with that grant money to put in the infrastructure for the water fund this year. Okay, and that's part of the reason, we'll cover it when we get back to it. That's part of the reason you were up over budget this year. Is because you hadn't budgeted for providing as much money to the water. Or at least, yeah, well, you hadn't budgeted for it. You hadn't budgeted for as much. You did budget for some of it, but the amount that you put over, we'll talk about in a little bit, it was a fairly large amount that you had to take from the general fund to the water fund to finish the project. Which you have to do. I mean, the infrastructure, it has to be there. You can't provide the services. So.
So just so I understand, I have a question real quick.
Yep.
So that 20,000, that's water and sewer?
No,
Or just water?
That's just the water.
Okay.
The sewer fund actually lost, if you take away the depreciation and the bottom line in the operating expense section. In the sewer fund, 96,000 depreciation expense. So I take that away. I mean, it's infrastructure. And it is the devaluation of the infrastructure that theoretically took place in 2025, but no money went out. Okay, so if you take that away, you had $180,000 of expenses in the sewer fund. And you had $155,000 of revenue. Okay. Upside down by about 25,000. So about 20,000 in one and 25,000 in the water fund. Just in operations. No, excuse me, in the sewer fund, 25 in the sewer, 20 in the water. Again, if that happens one time, you're okay. If it happens year after year after year and the general fund has to supplement it, now we're going in the wrong direction as a town. Okay, so I brought that to your attention. Let's go back to page, it's 44 in mine. I'm not sure.
What are we looking for, Dave?
Just give me a title.
Oh, it is the,
Schedule of findings and response.
yes, thank you.
Okay. Oh, back to the original page.
Yep, back to that original page that we started with. And this is probably going longer than I told you folks it would. I apologize, but we're covering. Okay, the first one is the normal one that we have. The size of the town's staff is not large enough to have a segregation of duties. Okay. This is one that you have, if you go back 20 years, you were getting this finding. The town is not big enough to have a segregation of duties. I think you do what you can by the mayor reviewing expenditures, by the town council looking at reports that are generated. But in a perfect world, we'd have 2 or 3 different people doing 2 or 3. Somebody would be opening the mail, somebody would break the mail apart into checks, and somebody else would do a deposit slip, and somebody else would take that to the bank. That's all done by one person. Okay. The answer to the segregation of duties is town council. Colby, you really do have to watch. I always say that if you're on the town council of the city of Los Angeles. Probably there's enough levels that you don't have to look at the minutia as much as you do. But at a town this size, you really do have to pay attention. And does that mean you micromanage? No, but it means if you see something that just doesn't make sense, it certainly says, Tracy, could you explain this to me? You know, why do we spend so much with this vendor this month? Because we generally don't. Or I've never seen us buy anything from this vendor before. What did we buy from them? Those kind of questions, I think, is what we're looking for with that comment. Okay? On page, I'm not sure what you have. But it's the budget, it's the over budget finding, it's the compliance finding. It should be right after the page we were just talking about.
The effect cause,
Yep. It should be the finding 2025-002.
Yeah, that's the
Last
last page.
page.
That's the, okay,
the very last page.
that's, well.
That's all we have right there.
Well, there should be one after it that says, last year you had this finding, but that would have been the segregation of duties, so who cares?
That's on the same page.
Okay, you got them both. Okay, you overspent your budget, okay? The only one that you really overspent your budget in a lot is the money that you sent to the water fund. Okay, if as a matter of fact, on page 34 that I have, probably 33 for you. And what you're looking for is the budget to actual comparison.
That's 34.
Okay, 34, we match on that one.
Budgetary comparison schedule for general.
Yep, if you look over on the right-hand column, that's what we're really interested in. And the state doesn't care about the revenues up above. So we don't really look at those that carefully. But, oh, let me make sure that you're,
Am I on the right stuff?
nope, you're not, I'm sorry.
We're not.
Let's move back to,
This is where I'm at. You said 34?
no. It is on page, whoa,
Yeah, hers is way different.
you don't have it, so let me just tell you.
Yeah, two
Yeah, I think this is probably it right here. Yeah, budgeted amount. It's on page 34 down at the bottom, kind of,
Yeah.
okay?
We have two.
Looks like it got scrunched on some of our numbers. too.
You know something, and
No, we got 234.
Yeah, we have 234s.
It's okay.
Tracy,
You're on the right one.
Tracy did not get this till Monday, so
It's not his fault.
it's Dave's fault, that our pages were messed up, and I apologize. You were over budget in the court by $5,000. To me, that's pretty close. I mean, that's what you use a budget for, is you try to, you set it, you compare it. What the state, the way you get away from being over budget is right before year end, you have a budget amendment and you put extra money in there. I mean, that's just the way it is. The police were over budget by 23,000. Okay. On 251,000 of expenses, $23,000 is not huge, but it's something to watch. And then in the administration, that's where you budgeted to send the money to the water fund. Okay, and you sent. I'll jump back and
I
tell
think
you.
we said 200,000 if I remember. Right.
So it's a large number. Oh no, it's a transfer.
We transferred.
$379,000 got transferred into the water fund by the general fund. Now, here's why, Colby. I know you're looking at it.
Well,
We took
goes my mind.
the general fund took in the grant money,
Yeah, that's
so that would include the grant money as well. Okay. Okay, so you're right. It is closer to 200,000 of general fund money that came in,
and then we
The
transferred.
difference.
and then you transferred the grant as well. Okay.
I'm following the paper trails in my mind. I'm like, I don't remember that.
No, you know something? This is true. That right there gives me the warm fuzzies. Because that means you're watching it pretty closely. If I gave you a number that just doesn't make sense to you and you're saying, that doesn't make sense to me. And then we find out why, that's
Yeah.
wonderful. That's
I'm more comfortable with the, how we just figured
Yeah, the
out.
200,000 and the rest of it's grant money that you received in the general fund that you then transferred to the water. Okay? So it was a great first year audit for Tracy. I'm glad Jody's here. She can take a bow as well.
That's all Jody.
She did a one.
Didn't start till after.
I get
I
that, but,
started in July and it ended in June, so.
but you were great to work with, putting this together. Wade Hershey does a wonderful job. I commend you for having him come in, quite honestly. The audit has a definitely a purpose, but having somebody like Wade come in and just kind of
Overlook our books.
overlook your books, put things the way that they should be, and quite honestly, I know him well enough that if something didn't make sense to him, he'd be asking to. And he's done it for enough years now that he knows the town. So, anyway, that's my report.
And you're sticking to it?
I'm sticking to it, yes, unless,
Thanks.
yeah, thank you. If it's okay, I'm gonna cut and run. My granddaughter, who's gonna be 1 year old in 2 days, is waiting for me in Afton. That I get to go spend the night with, so.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I see you shaking your head,
Oil
Colby.
dropping guy.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Appreciate being here.
thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave, and thanks to Jody and.
Sorry,
Tracy.
folks, it was a longer night.
In essence, we passed our audit, if anybody was wondering.
Yep, we
Oh,
did.
yes,
You
you passed your audit.
didn't come right out and say it, but I read it.
Okay.
I've been listening to the audits for Cokeville for a while, so I'm recognizing his lingo.
We will move on to resolutions and
But
ordinances.
before we go any farther. Again. We owe big thanks to this guy. For his mind. And his keeping track of numbers in our behalf. He's very good at what he does, and he needs to be commended for it.
Thanks.
Thanks, Kobe.
Appreciate that. Resolutions and ordinances. We have the second reading through the Cokeville Joseph Beard zoning change. Got too many papers up here.
Yeah,
2601.
There it is. 2601, do I have a motion to approve this zoning change
I move that we approve the zoning change
ordinance 2601?
for ordinance 2601.
Motion by Teresa, do I have a second?
Is this like a first or second reading?
It's
or
a second one.
Second reading.
Second reading,
Yeah.
I'm just making a note. Cause it doesn't have it on the bottom like it normally does.
It's on the other
Oh,
page.
Sorry.
Do I have a second?
All set.
Second by Wayne. Any further discussion on this? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Right. We have the camping ordinance 2602. Chief, are you introducing that to us tonight? Is that what I'm understanding?
I don't know if it's me, Councilman Lewis.
I think it's both of us. I think it's me actually, but thank you very much for all your help.
So do you want me to talk a little bit about it?
If you don't mind,
Okay.
we have let's just have a discussion on it real quick, so we're aware of what it is.
So basically what it is changing it. We've always had a camping at the town park. So this is just adding and taking away specifically the park, but adding so that people can't basically make a residence out of a recreation vehicle on their property is what it is. We've had in the last probably, well, about a year, we've had at least 2 places that have had people staying in recreational vehicles on property for the extended period of time. I'm talking about family coming for the weekend. And then they go on their way, because I've done that. It's more being there for 2-3 months and not having. We didn't have anything saying that that couldn't happen. So maybe curtail it so that it doesn't happen down the road. We need to have something in all ordinances, because there's never been anything in the ordinance.
Okay,
Thanks, sir.
do I have a motion for this ordinance? It's 2602. Third reading.
What's the changes?
What is red?
Everything in red.
I think there needs to be, well, we can get to the discussion portion.
Mind you, again, the first reading, we have at least 2 opportunities to edit it. If we need to accept it as a first reading and take it into a work session, I'm okay with that. I would like to either move on with it and start the process, or reject it as a council. So if we have a motion, mind you, if we reject it, we cannot bring it up for another year.
I move to motion that we accept the first reading with a work meeting to iron out more details of how this is gonna read. To be clear. It's, it's gonna need,
First thing to say, they only have a flag. What's the flag?
just said you can camp 2 nights. All it says.
In the town park. We're just thinking of it, so it's not just a park, we're gonna go in town. Let's get it. Basically saying that you can't apply things in personal property for more than 2 days. Unless you obtain it.
Let's get the second, we'll have discussion.
Motion by Brad, second by Teresa. Further discussion, or imagine there's some on this.
So for the RV hookups in town, those are commercial, that doesn't apply.
No, that was gonna apply to this.
Apply for them.
Yeah, so if Greg needs,
Gets
gets
adopted in,
his done and gets annexed in the town, this wouldn't affect that.
or the motel itself.
Or the motel, that's
With
a
this
separate
with this,
situation.
What's it have to read it?
It's got like 4 or 5, yeah, and then there's a few there, I don't know what the number is, but. And then there are some that's behind no one's using them, but. They would be, I mean, if someone who took them over, then they would be under that same. It's not what this is really,
It's a commercial.
it's a commercial thing.
Right.
So if it, maybe, and that's where the wording needs to be put in there. That it clearly defines the difference between the two. And that's what a work meeting would be. We'd have to hash out a lot more than just what's here today.
Well, in my opinion, I was totally blindsided by this. I never heard nothing about it or anything. And as far as I'm concerned, we table it because I want more info on this. I'm not gonna vote on it.
We have a motion to accept, if we can modify that motion to a table and have further work sessions, or we can pass a first reading and have further work session. And try to get it through.
I prefer tabling it and having a work session. It just gives us time to think logically through it.
So I amend my motion, I'll amend my motion to table this 6-208 camping in town park until a work meeting will be scheduled.
You need a second that motion to table this for the work session. By Bratz, second by Teresa. Any further discussions?
When that first line, would that also apply to the leasing grounds? As far as the limitation of
The park,
So,
the town parks,
not parks, okay.
so the way the ordinance reads right now, it only covers that park right there. It does not cover the leisure park. Adding the S on in the parks, that would be any future parks plus the Legion Park.
Okay.
That the town owns, it would be covered on. Right now, we can't do anything if somebody's camping up there for 3 weeks because it's not the town park.
So that's the S.
it's a town park, but it's not the town park.
That's, it reads, it's
That's why I
town
said
park.
that is
Legion
right.
Park.
Okay, all in favor of tabling? Motion carries. We'll table this till next meeting. For the work session to hash out some details. All right, we have any public comment communications? Neil? You have any public comment you'd like to share with us or? Okay. Yeah, that's if you don't mind, please.
Yeah. Just, I've been working with Teresa and council a little bit in trying to get, improvement on the gun range. And my hats off to the city. They've done an incredible job of upkeep on that. It's a real asset to this community. That range was started about 35 years ago with a $3,000 game and fish grant. And people drive all the way from Kemmer and Afton because it's easily accessible. It's free, open to the public. There's been a lot of, all the maintenance since then has been either through the city or Boy Scout projects or volunteers. And the city recently put some extra effort into rebuilding targets, cleaning things up. The tire mess went away, just did a lot of really good work. The one, and I just said, Teresa and I have been kind of working. I said, I got enough energy left to help you on one more project. The road up there is real steep and it washes out. And the city was gonna dump some tar on it. And I said, hey, give us a chance. Maybe we'll just make the road better. And so we've made an effort. We went to the county. We didn't get quite the results we were hoping for there. But we bottom line of it is we could rebuild the road just on the west side of the existing road and make a little bit of a switchback and cut the pitch on that road by about half. And the cost on that, so we got a bid from a private contractor, about $7,000, $5,000 in gravel and $2,000 for the road grader and cat work. And so we're looking for money to do that. And so between the mayor and Teresa and I, we approached the Game and Fish and submitted a grant here last week. And their Game and Fish grants are pretty simple. They give you money to do the work and that's it. They're not real, they don't ask matching grant, they don't ask for extensive reports. We've barely beat the deadline in, so Teresa, we've been swamped up out of the state, and the mayor and I put together an online grant, should know within a month. And the money will be available July 1st for next summer, so if that comes, pretty easy money to fix up and make that a nicer place. With all the work the city's been doing, and if they offer us a half partial grant, I think that would give us enough time. The Lincoln County Commission has a recreation committee that was willing to come up with a little money. They couldn't fund the whole thing. But even if the Game and Fish gives partial grant, I think we still have time to go ask the county for a partial grant to finish it.
Those are due in February now. The recreation grants are due in February.
So
Yeah,
I'm
either
hoping-
end of February, 1st of March.
Right.
Just a heads up, so we
Which
ready
day
for the
again?
rodeo. Either the end of February or the 1st of March. It's
That should
actually
give us time.
sooner.
We
than-
should know from the Game and Fish what they're gonna do.
Just a heads up, it's
No,
earlier than.
That's excellent timing. We'll make it work. We'll take a run at it. Worst case scenario, then I'll give you money. We'll, the city will do what we can. And I just apologize because the deadline came so fast. Priest was busy out of the state, the mayor, we pushed that through last night. I'll get you a written copy of that. It's pretty straightforward. Pretty proud of what the city's done. And they asked who to partner to go on the range and
I gave him a history. I said, yeah, it's all been the city of Cokeville. It's not the citizens of Cokeville that benefit, citizens of the whole county. And when I took the pictures for the grant, there was a family here that had extended family, two families from Utah. And they were up shooting the heck out of things. So, but all the work's been done by the city of Cokeville. Boy Scouts have put several Eagle Scout projects in there. One son did it with fence, for instance, over the years. And the other thing is, we needed some signing and there's some money. The city's hard, filthy rich. You're gonna do signs everywhere. But so just a heads up, Teresa, I've got your copy and I gave it to the chief today. But when you, if the range is an asset, it needs to be taken care of. The biggest problem is vandalism and misuse, like any gun range across the country, by the way. And signing helps, and we talked about a signing, just a heads up. From viewing firing ranges from around Western Wyoming and other states, I gave the chief and Teresa a copy for you and whoever wants it. Just a suggestion of about 4 or 5 rules that would help maintain order and cleanliness and safety on gun ranges. You guys can look them over and it's just a starting point. And at some point down the road, you might want to make some of them ordinances just so your police department can enforce it. Things, for instance, like not shooting glass. There's no reason to shoot glass on a firing range. It's hard to pick up. It always ends up on the ground and it's a safety issue. So there's just some little simple rules that make the range cleaner and safer. And so just food for thought, get you started on something there. Anything else I can do to help? I will. The mayor will know I used the city council's name on the ground and Mayor Colby is the contact person. So you guys will probably know before I do, but I'll help you any way I can.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Neil.
Thanks, Neil.
Any other public comment or communication income for the council? Okay. We'll move on to reports from officers and boards and committees. Councilman Nate, streets and grounds, buildings.
After talking with our departments here, I mean, nothing really big on the streets. As far as grounds go, there's been some maintenance things that we've had to fix for the senior center, which has been done. One thing I was gonna see if we can bring up tonight is if we could buy the other filter that the center had already kind of started ordering to have it as a backup.
Did they get here? They didn't get it returned.
Yeah, they weren't able to get it returned, I was told. And if we wanted to, I think we should buy it from them. And
If they'll submit an invoice, I think we can make a motion to approve that purchase.
okay,
But we need to have an invoice.
okay. So do we do that?
And then there's a little bit of the cost depending on.
Yeah, it's, I know it's in the office right now, just sitting there, so. And I did ask for an invoice. So do we want to just do that next month?
We can do it now. If we make a motion to accept with the invoice, we can do that.
Okay, let's do that then. I moved a motion, we accept purchasing the filter from the senior center due upon invoice.
Motion by Brad to purchase the filter. The treatment filter for the water. Second by Teresa. With an invoice. Any further discussions?
I did talk with them too and just said, just let us know and we'll be the ones that take it from there.
Yeah.
So we're good that way and they agree.
We've got it on a schedule, it's every 6-month schedule, and sometimes depending on the water usage, it comes a little faster than what.
Yeah.
We want the schedule to be.
And I like that we have an extra on hand that we can stick right in right away. So, very good. That ends my reports.
Need a vote on that motion? All in favor? Motion carried. Councilwoman Lewis, Parks Recreation, Economic Development, and Beautification Committee.
Do you have anything for tonight? Yes. Which one of you?
You can.
Thank you, Davis.
I'll see if I get all of it. On my phone.
And they didn't waste any time putting you to work.
I know. Well, that's why I thought Brittany was here, so I wasn't too worried about it. We do have, so the main thing we wanted to bring up was, we talked before about having a committee for the mural design. That way the committee can kind of choose the design. And we do have a couple names that we wanted to bring to you guys. Do we wanna let everyone know or just council? Okay, so the initial plan for the committee was gonna be 7 people. We're gonna have Mayor Peck, another council member, yeah, we want your opinion, yeah. Another council member. A beautification committee member, which will be Brittany, and then 5 community members. We decided to split up the 5 community members by age. The age ranges that we decided on was 18 to 29, 30 to 40, 30 to 49, 50 to 69, and then 70 plus. The names that we have so far, obviously Mayor Peck, Brittany Kelly, and then for the 18 to 29 age range, we decided Janetta Tykert. And obviously, these names are contingent upon if they want to do it or not, because they're a volunteer committee, obviously. So the 18 to 29 range, we were thinking Janetta Tykert. We were thinking for the 70 plus, we were thinking Dottie Joe Pope. And then those were the only 2 that we have kind of as is right now. And we're still kind of working on the other ones.
So.
What?
For the.
Yes,
49.
Right.
is that what, is that what she?
Yes.
Yeah, Joe, 30 to 49 is Joe Dayton.
And we might end up changing it to 6 and doing Demont, Randy and Carla Tuma in the 50 to 69 age range. We kind of tried to select people that have really contributed to Cokeville that might be really good at recognizing some art things. And then Janetta was one who like her ties with Minerva. Anyway, we wanted a wide variety of maybe representative of families too, like what?
We were looking at families that, or people that may have long ties, whether it's family. Or maybe they have just an extensive knowledge of the town of Cokeville and the history of Cokeville. Those are kind of the criteria we were thinking of these people for.
Can I make a recommendation for the council member
Of course.
because of his art experience?
No. Oh.
You're gonna get the 70 plus. Age range.
I'd like to recommend we put Charles on that just so that we have an art eye on it.
Okay, and that's fine too. Like I said before, we have a little bit of time. Before we kind of get it nailed down. So and if you guys have any other opinions or thoughts on it, we'd love to hear them. Charles, if you're more than willing to be a part of that, we can etch your name down as the council member, if the rest of the council is okay with
These are
that.
just suggestions so far. They haven't accepted anything.
We haven't reached out, we wanted to bring them to you guys to kind of show you, this is kind of the list that we have going right now. Obviously, we still need 1 or 2 more community members, but kind of what your guys' thoughts were on them, and if you guys are okay with these individuals.
Except for you, Charles, you just got drafted.
Yeah, you got voluntold.
Yeah, hey. I got voluntold, you're gonna get voluntold.
I know you picked a 70 plus. I think my dad. With his art experience and all the state championships that, I mean, literally he's done a lot in that whole art department
Mhm.
in our town for the last 30 years. That would be someone I would probably approach maybe. Or something. I mean, I was thinking the same thing with Charles, and so that was a good pick, by the way. But I mean, I just think that they have an art background that And, you know, he's kind of been here forever. And ever,
And
and no more ever.
He's not here, so.
Yeah, and he can't say no right now because he's not in the room, but
Mhm.
I'm just saying, I would just throw his name out.
Okay, yeah, there's definitely other people that we've talked about, and we have kind of another list of other people that we need to talk about and talk to and stuff, and obviously there's also contingent upon if those people want to be a part of it or not,
Yeah.
because we do know there are some community members that don't want to be a part of certain things, and that's their right to do that, so.
Yeah.
And the beautification committee is okay extending these invitations?
Yes.
Yeah.
Am I correct on this assumption?
Mhm.
Yeah.
At least you have a backup in the 80-year-old there.
Yeah,
I would-
right,
Now we wanted a couple backup options, that's why
Yeah.
we suggested a few more names so that if
Yeah.
someone says no, then.
I would like the council to entertain a motion to approve the invitation extension to these named individuals. If we could, please.
Only the named individuals, or just that we're gonna let them name?
Well, I think we want to be careful about, when we set up committees that we approve the people that are on those committees, so yes, only the named.
And if
individuals.
there's a name that you really feel strongly about, you know, let us know and we can talk about it in the meetings.
If
Mhm.
we. If
Just
they need to
try.
come back to us and have some more people added or have some changes that need to be made. I would like us to flesh that out as a council, so. that
if you.
Cognizant of what we're putting on our committees to represent the
Okay,
community.
we also do have a little bit of a rough list of the names that we initially had thought of. We can get you a copy of that, so you can take a look at that as well if you'd like.
I think this is a good start.
Okay,
From a timing standpoint, what's kind of the timeline for making a decision, putting things,
so
organizing?
we kind of talked a little bit about obviously the mural's gonna be done by, starting and done by the summer. We're hoping to get the committee done or figured out by around April, May. As long as we can get the committee figured out, because they are the ones that are gonna approve the mural. And then they can start, whoever we have, the most painted can start it. So that's kind of the timeline, so we've got a
And it
few
could
more.
move quicker if we, once we have final approval.
Yeah, we're not gonna stop a sooner process. If you wanna get it going, we're fine with that too. We just wanted to kind of get a start today and then go from there.
Oh, Ashley just texted me, she wants a decision tonight on the names.
You tell Ashley.
Ashley, she's homesick. or
She would have been here.
So can we just
She's about
do real
to-
quick the
Yeah,
names
she's
again?
about-
Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Baby's
So-
no excuse.
So what are the names again, real
So the
quick?
ones we have as of now,
I have
Mayor Peck,
Brittany Kelly, Janetta Tiger, Joe Dayton, Demont, Grandy, Carla Toomer, Don Joe Pope, and Dennis Nate,
Charles.
Charles, and myself, I guess.
So that's
the 7th.
10.
That's like 10, 1, 2.
I counted 8, but I'm leaving them off.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Alright.
That's it. I mean, the invitation being extended, and then I suspect that somebody might say no on this, I don't know. I don't know who it would be, but I'd imagine somebody. You gotta prepare for that. We have a motion.
yes, I was just writing down how to do it, if you were ready. I make a motion that we, how did you want to put it? Extend the invitations to the people for, whose names were suggested as part of the committee for beautification. For the mural.
Mhm.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Oh, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
There you go extend your invitations.
So we're still waiting on the mural. We haven't really heard anything back yet about that grant yet. But once we do, then we'll let the council know. We are also recommending to the council to have Bradley Lester be on the beautification committee. She, as of right now, is only a community member that comes to every meeting that we have. And we'd like to formally extend the invitation for her to be part of the committee.
Do we have a motion to accept Riley Lester as a member of the beautification committee?
I do, I make that motion that we accept Riley for the beautification committee.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion by Teresa, second by Charles. Any further discussion? All in favor? Motion carried.
Okay. Couple more things.
And something before I forget, the. Ashby called me the other day and said that you guys had checked up on that grant. And it hasn't been approved yet, it's still on the governor's desk, but he hasn't turned any of those down.
Yeah.
So it's,
When we had our meeting last week, Ashley mentioned that pretty much no one has heard back from this grant, all the ones that have been submitted. So we're just kind of waiting.
Yeah.
Patiently until he gets to look at all of them.
right,
So, but like I said, once we know for sure kind of how that grant's gonna go, then we'll let the council know.
go for it.
One, just real quick. The beautification committee wanted to know if we have permission to create our own Facebook page. We just felt like we were bombarding Tracy the last month with a bunch of, hey, can you post this? No, actually, can you post this one? And so we just want to see if maybe if we have our own Facebook page, then we can post our own things, and we wanted to see how the council felt about that before we just did it.
Building facilities, but it's gonna kind of come as a third.
So it'd be similar to Cokeville's kind of thing, right?
No,
We would be posting.
it would be our page that we would post on our page,
Right.
not quite like, because Cokeville Girls is a group,
So currently we have
not a page.
the Cokeville Town page,
Right,
we have the Cokeville Police page.
correct.
And we need that, you're saying you want to add a beautification page?
Correct.
We also have a clerk's page.
Okay.
Just
We have a
so the
Facebook
beautification
page.
committee knows. There is somebody on the beautification committee that has administrative rights to the Cokeville town Facebook page that they don't have to bombard the clerk with.
Oh.
So I will explain. I in my position feel like I don't have access to that page. I have access to the Cokeville Police Department page. I, as just an officer, don't post on the town page or like the town of Cokeville page. I just feel like that's not where I should be posting. I leave that up to the town clerk and the chief of police. That's not my.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
He's not still in the
I
book.
was thinking, I don't know.
So did you get kind of
Is your
quarter
kind
there
of
for a minute?
100%.
Yeah, you did.
She does it a lot.
Yeah, I
So
know.
here's my concern. And I'm just gonna put it out there. I want to make sure that our communications are from a united front.
Mhm.
We're not having every little faction that happens. Have their own little space out there. I'd really rather. Give the opportunity to make someone an administrator on our current page. And allow them just to post on that, in my opinion. Just so that we're more united around the public. But I'm open to the council's suggestion. In this regard.
So is that the town of Cokeville's place for the page?
If that's what the council decides.
What do
we
you
do
guys,
that.
what do you envision that you would want to post?
So as of now, it'd be pretty much when we have our meetings. It'd be this event, like maybe the coin drawing or the mural drawing contest, sort of say. Like when the last day to get those submitted will be, and then future things like we're planning on participating in the spring cleanup that Brooks Garbage helps out with. We're gonna get a hold of him and try to coordinate with him to help him out with that. But those kind of things that we try to post about, as well as when we start doing more signage things, then we can start posting about that as well.
We talked about the 4th of July celebration too. And, but I'll talk more about this.
Mm.
It's okay.
The other idea was making a Parks and Recs page.
Exactly.
Cause I know that towns have those, but it's again the same. I get the United Template, 100%, like I get that. But we just don't, we feel like we need an outlet and we could do it under our own names. But
I would like this more or less train the community to be going to the same spot for the information. If that makes sense,
Yes.
because it shouldn't matter if it's a park event. Santa Claus is coming to town, you know, we're doing this cleanup, spring cleanup, whatever. We should be able to go to the same location, get that information.
But. An idea, I mean, we could. Take a little pressure off there and maybe have someone that's what they do for us. That maybe they are on the committee, but
That's where I said is
Yeah.
you open an opportunity for an administrator,
yeah,
because you can add an administrator on those pages. Now, that being said, we gotta be very careful and cognizant of what we're putting on.
Yeah.
If it,
because it is representing us directly,
That's-
no matter what.
Yeah.
Question, I've noticed on Cokeville Girls, I guess, Stacy started that. And isn't that right, Brandy? And so there are things on there that people have put on, and then you'll notice that, it says the administrator approved. And is that what you're thinking for this?
well,
It-
if
it
we
mean-
give the person the rights to post that, they'd be an administrator, so they just post it, they would have to have approval.
It wouldn't say anything about who was posting it, it'd say, like, if it would just say town of Cokeville, and then this is what they're posting, and it's.
Okay,
So if you make the notes, whenever I post something, it says Cokeville Clerk.
right,
So we can make a line, we can make a page for them that's for the beautification committee, so that every time they post, it comes from the beautification committee.
But
It
it goes
wouldn't
to
come
that
from a
face,
personal
that same
person.
Facebook page.
that worked good.
So you'd have the administrator to do it, and you can post whatever you want, but it would say from the beautification committee instead of something else. But you would post on your own group, your private group of beautification committee, but then you would post it into our Facebook page.
Cool.
And that's fine with us, we're kind of open and accepting of whatever you guys are willing to let us use and post on. As well as if you'd rather just have it, give someone the administration role as well. And that's fine too, it's just kind of whatever you guys are most comfortable with and what you guys want us to do,
I would prefer that to be
be the case.
you as well. You're currently appointed for that.
And I know,
There's some,
Triple job,
the ramifications of that is just simply that
you can get fired.
there's some disciplinary action.
Yeah, we have an axe to grind.
uh-huh.
David, you know that plate of yours that keeps getting more and more
Oh,
full?
it's a bowl now, it's going, it's.
No.
Yeah,
Kiddo, it's a platter.
Yeah, probably.
I don't feel bad for you yet.
Are we formally appointing the communications director for the town? Is that what we're doing?
No.
No. Don't overwhelm him and he quits on us.
No, it's not too bad, but. So I guess at this point, what would you guys like as council to decide?
I would recommend that we entertain a motion of allowing Davis to be an administrator and be able to post. However, that may be, like Tracy and Rick mentioned, they have their own thing.
Is there gonna be any kind of oversight about any of it at all, or?
Well, there
I mean,
is,
it is
You
David.
can make it that way to where once they post it, it has to come to me and I have to
And then she
approve it.
approves.
That's what
Yeah.
safety
I'm really thinking we've gotta be careful. After all that stuff that you provided us, we've really gotta be,
And I agree with this. Sentiment, that's part of the reason why I would like an employee of the town to be the one posting as opposed to. Just somebody of the public, because there's ramifications that we can take of an employee of the town, we don't have. We can't take them, sorry, Brittany, if you post, I'm not gonna come after you.
I guess what I'm saying is, I mean, it's fine that he's able to post, but I still think he needs to probably at least talk to you or somebody before.
Yeah,
There needs to be a little bit of an oversight before,
Well, if
Yeah.
we make our page. And then Tracy has to approve everything we post, we can't, nobody will see anything until she says.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. We just need to have that fail safe, I think.
Alright,
Let's vote on something.
It's a simple good system.
So I've been working on this, but I don't know how to make that motion, because I'm getting kind of confused. Do I just make the motion that Davis be the administrator of the Facebook page before the beautification page? Are you ready for that, sir?
I'm ready for anything you wanna make a motion for.
Oh. So I make a motion that Davis be the administrator for the Facebook page for the beautification committee.
Motion by Simpson,
That's the motion.
second by Charles. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Right.
Aye.
Cool. Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you. And the last thing I've got, which is just, I was gonna give you just a little. We have a good group of number of people on our committee. We're always looking for more people. If there's anyone, there's also more so for anyone listening that if they want to come to our meetings or be a part of the beautification committee, come to any of us. We'll let them be a part of that if they want to. We are also kind of waiting on signage information. We're still kind of looking at the street signs for how we want to have them, as a design. I went through and counted some of the street signs. I know Mike went and counted, I think, the stop signs and yield signs. So we'll just have to talk about that a little bit and see kind of what your plans were. I talked to Mike a little bit about kind of going away from the yield signs. We'll obviously talk about all of that at a later date, but I just wanted to let you guys know that we're looking at the signages and we're still trying to kind of figure all that out.
The one thing I requested of Ashby, and I don't know if she related it all to you guys or not, is that. We look at some of the highlight points of the community and figure out some signs that points to those highlight points.
Yeah, of course.
Like the ski resorts, the park, the libraries,
Mhm.
you know, there's the town hall, the schools. Just so that navigational wise,
Mhm.
it adds interest.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've seen some, if you guys know what signs we have around here. On the other side of 30, there is a library sign showing that there is a library in town.
And
There's, yeah, and there's the Pine Creek up the other way. Just past the first sign, when you come on the main street, there is a sign, a metal sign that I think was an Eagle Scout project. Showing that the 3 corners is up this way. But there are a couple different signs around here that we could maybe update as well as include new signs as well for other attractions.
The hard part is that we don't know what budget we have to work with because we know so many street signs have to be used like their priority.
Yeah.
And so that's the hard part that we're running into is we don't really know what money
So-
we have to work with.
So the priority, yeah, you're right, so the street naming signs and the safety signs, so the stop,
They had come
you
first.
know. Speed limit signs go first.
I think we've got a couple no parking and handicap signs.
Yeah, those would be same thing,
Yeah.
they'd be in that primary list. I will tell you this, you have $30,000 total
As a whole.
as a whole. And I would imagine. I'm just getting a guesstimate number out there that this, the street signs No, I think they'll only take about 5 or 6.
So with that,
Mhm.
I guess a couple side
We're
questions.
not replacing everything,
We are,
everything.
but the more you buy, the better deal you get.
So come up with more.
Yeah, so both, obviously you get more for the price.
To the Kelly house,
And I'll-
there's a
I'll
sign.
talk to you Mike about it. Just kind of, is there a specific size of like stop signs? Because there's multiple different sizes of stop signs we have in town as well as street signs.
As far as our city streets. The side streets, it's. A basic standard stuff. The
Okay.
ones that are required are major intersection signs, so. Like going into Highway 30 and going into the highway zone.
And those ones are bigger than all the other ones.
Because due to speed and.
Due to speed and due to
Mhm.
distance.
Yeah.
Well, maybe what we need is a list from you guys of all the signage. Mike, yeah. of everything.
We're working on that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike.
All of these stop signs, all that come in from our side streets, they're whiteouts.
Onto Main, yeah.
Oh, no.
Or why don't Main? because
We
it's highway.
know that, and we gotta work, we're gonna work with YDOT to refresh them all, make them all the same vintage era.
The state is aware.
We will likely end up having to pay for them. But we want them all the same. So. What we don't wanna have is have all the rest of town being all brand new signs, bright and shiny, and then having these old ones right here on our main street.
Or part of the T missing, or it's a little skinny,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
which is on some of those signs.
So
There's
with,
like no preference of company that we need to go through.
Yeah,
or
see,
anything
with-
like that.
with what?
not right now, we will actually. There's some good companies out there that the state of Wyoming uses already.
Okay.
That give pretty decent deals. But we will actually have to go and obtain numbers from them all and say, okay, what's your cost on this?
And we found a couple different
That we can-
websites, we just wanted to see if you had one in mind, or if. They might have one or something like that, otherwise we'll look at it and see.
And the town did a 2021 did a transportation plan. And they actually recommended some designs for wayfind.
Yeah.
Signs.
For wayfinding.
And I actually, I'll present that in just a second. Gives you a
Okay.
sense for
Yeah.
what they've done so far.
Okay. That's all.
State
I-
of Wyoming gets their signs from Idaho signage.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sounds all right.
And they
You
actually
don't give them much.
Where do they get their oil?
Idaho.
We'll look at But that's all I have for you guys, so. For your time.
Thank you.
We've also bought signs through Utah Barricade.
Yeah. But so especially for like the safety signage. Companies like that are a lot cheaper. The more designer signs that that
Right.
we're gonna try and put in there for like. Our,
Right.
our wayfinding and make our town a little bit more pretty. Those are probably gonna be a little bit different because they're gonna have a lot more design. They're not just printing a sticker and laying it on a piece of aluminum. So,
But I think Mike still have access to get some information from what we used from when I was in here. On safe agriculture.
anything else, Jason?
In talking, one of the things we mentioned, we talked about in our meeting the other day was. Along with the coins and everything and the celebration over the 4th of July and everything. And it's been recommended that, I look at my events budget. And we have a meal. And, people from the town come flip burgers and do whatever along with the presentation that we have. For the birthday of our nation, so, okay, I appreciate it. Wasn't that about it? I think, yeah. Okay. I think that's it.
Councilman Harmon,
Already?
ready? We're only. Now
Um,
into this.
So water and sewer goes, water's fine. Sewers, the skate's up going, right, Mike?
Yeah.
I don't see no water running down the water pit up there anymore, I've been quite a spell now, so. And, they're coming in the end of the week, I guess, to work on the chlorinator.
Yeah.
And get it up and going. Things should be done, hopefully by the first next week, we'll have everything up and going. Tested and everything, I guess.
Great.
That's all for me.
I have a question. Are we using a different phone system now with that SCADA system?
Should be, yeah.
Are we using the cell phone service for that SCADA system now? So are we able to adjust budget on some of those always?
Well, that was part of what I was gonna bring up in my stuff. but
Oh, sorry.
We can talk about it right now, it's fine. There's. With those being working, they are working, correct? We should be able to cut off of the well up there for all west services, right?
And we'll double check Thursday when we talk to them. Make sure.
Yeah. Just don't. The sewer plant,
You cut off the tank.
the tank. That's all we had that we could cut off, cause you gotta keep your shop. But that's pretty, substantial bills that we could
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
get back, and it would actually. Cover the cost, one of those would probably cover the cost of all the cell systems that we have.
Yeah, I was looking through that.
So what I was gonna actually ask for was a motion to remove those from all west. And I would say in the coming month, to make sure we have a window of. Making sure everything's working on the new system.
Would you like that motion now or during your time?
We can have it now.
Okay, I moved a motion that we move to remove
Services.
all the services from the 3 locations you just described.
Second.
Or you might Brad, Charles second. Remove all west communications from the well, the sewer plant and the tanks.
Well, sewer.
All in favor, or I guess any further discussion?
Before we vote on that, is that the right move, Mike? You say it, Bill,
Oh, yeah.
to get rid of them?
Yeah, cause everything's gonna say,
Okay, and it's been working so good so far.
yeah, and I say we'll double check with them Thursday when we talk to them, make sure.
I'd say we got a month to take care of that, so it's fine. If we need it next month, we come back and we suddenly we still have it, we won't renew it, we'll both have it together. Which I doubt will be the case. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Good. Councilman Dayton? You can actually move that right to where you're at if you want.
Oh.
It's wireless.
That's false.
Yeah. Just gotta unplug that.
This system
Yep. That. Plug that right into your computer and plug it into your thing
up there where you were
up there, and you can do what you need to do.
You need power.
There's a plug in right there by your desk. It's a dummy. Under Wayne paper. Up there on the front.
Everything's blocking it.
That's fine.
Should break issues.
If you wonder if I get so there comes at home, I think, I'm Brad on source.
Just an update on kind of the master plan process. So this, we have a couple of plans that came from the transportation plan. And they made some suggestions on kind of entry sign type. And it was kind of interesting, has, Bucky Boris as our text and has, it's kind of a big hill with a C. And there's actually a lot of good information in this document, so, I wanted to show the beautification committee where to access this. The other part is some, location sign design. So then, some of this work has already been done. And it's, a good starting point for, for how to approach this. So the way to access this, moving forward. So you go to Cokeville.wy.gov. And then we'll put the master plan and documents on a page called master plan.
Okay.
And so this, I'll just kind of walk you through this. So this transportation, this is 2021, maybe I'll label that. Recreation plan was more than a decade ago. If you go to master plan draft, this will probably be a downloadable PDF. And the thing that's, this is missing kind of land use, some of the things that engineers tend to do. You look at those old plans that we had from 82. Yeah, and those were very interesting, but they brought in engineers and they mapped out where all the sewer was, where the roads were, identified the future growth areas, and it'd be interesting to update that. So this master plan, you can delve into it. Again, this is just a graph. Well,
It's not there yet, or it is,
it's there.
it's there.
Yeah, we just have to make the link right. Right.
Oh, okay.
You better make sure that that's not an editable.
No,
Document.
he said it's a PDF.
Yeah, I'll make a PDF for this version. And like I said, this is, we so we included the assessment document, the tourism readiness assessment. Some of the plans came from a long time ago as far as the, you've seen this picture before, this, the community, economic downtown revitalization plan, some of the concepts from that. So again, we just want a page where you can pull all the plans that have been developed and ideally, pull this together so it's more readable, it's more actionable, because obviously these things don't happen if you don't have the resources to them. So, so the council, as we kind of go into our priority setting activities, we identify, which of these things was signage or whatever it is, we can take on. So there's that. We have a link that will be. This is where the action plan will go. And so ideally, again, your listing would be different projects or projects. This came from, this is really hard to see, but this came from this plan structure from WAM. They're saying every town has some very similar functions. And so as you're thinking, you should think holistically beyond just, some of the core services. So like this welcome sign on the north side of Cokeville, really knock that out, then we can just check that off and say, hey, progress is being made and so forth. So any questions about any of this?
Did you have? I couldn't tell, I kind of went through it really fast on that master plan. Do you get to have access to like the census when they do that for like, we just fill one out for the school, for the kids that are gonna be coming to Hamburg? Just so we kind of get to have a gauge of what we have people wise coming up.
Yeah, there's, in fact, I think we ran, when it's updated, we did an AI and it projected out.
I projected it,
In like
okay.
20 years, it said we got 40 more people. Back in 82, when they were projecting, they said by this time we'd have about 700.
Right.
And so it's really interesting how that projection is really flat based upon historical data. But that would be information coming. As an aside, we have a new member of the community, bought Seth Nanji's place. So she works for Lincoln County Planning and Zoning. And she's finishing up her planning degree, is eager to contribute, and so she'll, may bring some contribution to this discussion that will help us wrap this up a little further.
Awesome.
So there's that. Two other things. I want to see if we could have a work meeting with John Park. I think February 10th is our next meeting. You know, either be before the council or on a separate day. And, you know, just as you talked about helping us really be clear about what our priorities are for 2026 or 27, I guess, is the years we're talking about. But do you have a preference? Would you like to come earlier? Would you like to set aside another time? Weather permitting, I'd love to have them come up, but if not, we, you know, have a Zoom presentation. This.
I prefer a separate day, because we got other things we could hash out as well.
Okay.
So if we allow like 2 hours on a separate day. We can dedicate some of that time to like do the ordinance that we were talking about earlier, and then.
So the work meeting, this would be part of that.
Yes.
Okay. You know what your schedule is?
I know I am out of town. Next week and first week of February.
Okay, Tracy, do you have the mayor's schedule?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Does anyone else have it?
I'm busy.
Well, I'm out of town, but that doesn't affect you guys.
What day is this?
They're trying to decide a day. For a work meeting.
What days are in question?
I don't think I'm gonna be here.
But Colby wants it separate and not an extension of the council meeting on the 10th.
The week of the 26th to the 30th, I could probably make just about any day work.
You went through some, really?
Yeah,
Of January?
of January.
Okay.
When you hear that week,
I see think was in that. I think on Friday, but
right,
is that a possibility?
that'll be the first day of the meeting, actually.
Okay, so that's 31st or something.
The 30th is a Friday.
Oh, that, okay.
The 30th is the Friday,
What about that Monday?
that month, that.
The 26th?
26th.
Yeah.
I can make that.
Brad, Teresa?
I'm probably.
I should actually say I can make that work after 3 p.m.
And there's,
I'm fine, I'll just work around you guys' schedule.
That'll work better than later in the week for me.
So the 26th,
so I'll get with John, see if that's it, if that'll work for him, look at that.
The 26th at 3 p.m.
okay.
And then the only other thing is, I think the Miracle Vista thing is still. Has come back, I think there's refunded it, I'm just doing some research again. Determine whether it makes sense to propose a plan for the college project. So that's all I have.
Okay. I'll wait for Wayne to get back. I think you just have to use the restroom. I hope that's all I have to do.
3 p.m. on the 26th.
And that's only for the,
Work session.
that's only for this, right?
No.
This plan has a map.
Or that's an open meeting.
The campings.
Okay.
So that's a lot that works. Yeah, done by professional.
There's some other things you want to propose, we could see if we can fit it in. Those two
Okay.
numbers.
It's just these two. That's all. I'm good with that. I'm not proposing anything else.
Okay.
January 26th, 3 p.m. for a work session. That's a lot for Monday.
It's a Monday.
Remind me.
Very well.
And that's it.
Okay.
Thanks, Charles.
As far as me, I got a few things. We talked a few months ago about our core values, a mission, and a vision statement. And then, I don't know if you guys can remember that. I asked the council to go and peruse that and make some suggestions, and I have not heard anything back on that at all. But I really would like to get this put forward and have a vision statement mission statement, and some core values for the community in town.
You want us to try and have that ready by next month?
I've asked for that twice, so. I think we're failing to do what we're being asked, and I'd love to see if we can get it pushed through.
Okay.
This is a resolution. If there's any heartburn on this vision statement, mission statement, or core values, I haven't heard anything that anybody mentioned, so I imagine there's not too much heartburn, or somebody would have said something. But we could have a motion to approve these resolutions, I'd appreciate it. If not, then I'd like to have some suggestions moving forward. Motion by Wayne to approve. Second by Charles. Any further discussion?
I had just a thought on it, you know, they say a mission statement should be, you know, concise, inspiring, and you know, memorable. And there's something called a t-shirt test. The idea is if you put on the t-shirt, you know, and would want to wear it, that's a pretty good test that, yeah, that's something that represents the mission.
Right.
If it's too big, you know, most people just can't remember their mission just because it gets too big. And so I think, and maybe part of the work meeting, something like that, we could revisit that and said, you know, does it inspire us? Do we want to be part of that, this effort to become whatever that you know, that vision describes? But those are just my preliminary thoughts. But I think I'd love to have a conversation with the group about the specifics of it, but we have time now, so.
This is a resolution, so it is adaptable and changeable at any moment. With a simple reading of it. It's pretty simple what we put together, I think, but
We're only talking about this one resolution, right, for now.
front and back, yep, it's got a
Correct.
mission statement. The
The
mission
core
statement
values.
and the core values on it.
Right.
That's all we're talking about. And I will read that in full if the council passes it. Any further discussion on it? We have a motion from Wayne and a second from Charles. All in favor? Motion carries. I'll go ahead and read that. It would be resolution 1/2026, actually.
6 of them.
And says a resolution adopting the official vision, mission, and core values for the town of Cokeville, Wyoming. Whereas the town council of Cokeville, Wyoming recognizes the importance of defining a clear vision, mission, and a set of guiding values that reflect the community's identity, heritage, and aspirations. And whereas the town of Cokeville is a small western community built on strong traditions, family values, and a shared sense of pride and cooperation. And whereas the council desires to preserve the small town character, embrace responsible progress, and promote the well-being of all residents while honoring Cokeville's rural and ranching heritage. Now therefore be it resolved by the town council of the town of Cokeville, Wyoming, that the following statements are hereby adopted and the official guiding principles for the town. The vision statement: Cokeville is a proud western town where the spirit of community runs deep and the values of honesty, hard work, and neighborly care guide our way of life. We cherish our open spaces, celebrate our ranching and rural roots, and welcome progress that strengthens, not changes who we are. Together, we strive to keep Cokeville a safe, vibrant, and family-centered town where tradition meets opportunity and every generation feels proud to call it home. The mission statement: the town of Cokeville is dedicated to preserving our small town character and western way of life while fostering a strong, connected, and forward-looking community. We serve our residents with honesty, fairness, and respect, supporting local families, protecting our natural beauty, and encouraging thoughtful growth that benefits everyone. Through teamwork, tradition, and a shared sense of pride, we work to ensure Cokeville remains a place where neighbors help neighbors and the future feels as welcoming as our past. Core values: community. We believe in looking out for one another, lending a hand, and celebrating the spirit of neighborly care that defines small town living. Integrity. We uphold honesty, fairness, and accountability in all that we do. Trust is the cornerstone of our town's success. Heritage. We honor our western roots, ranching traditions, and the pioneering spirit that built Cokeville, ensuring these values endure for future generations. Stewardship. We take pride in protecting our land, resources, and natural beauty, ensuring that growth and progress respect our environment and heritage. Family. We support a safe, welcoming, and nurturing community where families of all generations can live, work, and thrive together. Progress with purpose. We embrace innovation and improvement that strengthen our town while preserving the character and the values that make Cokeville unique. Pride. We take pride in our town, our people, and our way of life, knowing that every act of service and kindness makes Cokeville stronger. Be it further resolved that these statements shall serve as a foundation for our town planning, operations, and community engagement, reflecting the values and vision of the people of Cokeville, Wyoming, passed, approved, and adopted on the 13th day of January 2026 in the town of Cokeville, Wyoming.
I make a proposal.
Yeah,
I think this needs to be on its own page on our website.
that's fine.
It's good.
I think it should be on its own page. Do we need to make a motion for that?
Yeah, it'd probably be best.
I don't know if it does or doesn't.
I think it does.
All right, I make a motion that our vision statement, mission statement, and our core values are posted on a
Separate page.
separate page on our website.
I second it.
Motion by Brad. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Eventually, I would like to get some signs printed to post in this building somewhere. I don't know where to put them yet. But I think it would be good to have them hung within this building.
I do too. Yep.
And it might not hurt to get some similar signs to the 10 Commandments and make them match over there.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
If we could get those done. The other thing I need to talk about is the technology stuff. So we have the money for the technology for the remaining of what we need to get for the town employees, but also for what we should have for our council members using town devices, or devices for town communications. Alright, we'll make it.
So I do have a question on that.
Yes,
So like, let's say there's a software that we want to use. Does that have to be bought by the town on those devices, even though we might personally own those software?
as like a shared software you could use, or what kind of software? I guess I didn't even need to.
Well, let's just say we utilize AI, but we have a paid version of it or whatever. Is that a town thing that has to be paid, or does it matter who logs in? Or it really comes on your resolution probably more than anything, because it would be on a personal account.
Yeah, I think that's a topic that we probably have to visit and associated with that resolution. I want to be careful about cross using the device.
Yeah, I'm totally into that. I totally understand what you're saying, but they are. I mean, you don't necessarily have to have the paid version, but obviously it has better benefits.
This town document's gonna be on town stuff, right? It can be personalized.
You shouldn't be putting your personal stuff. I would
It's not a personal, my personal stuff wouldn't be on it.
I would
It's
advise,
the software. So what you would use the software and for work purpose.
Microsoft Word, so you can open documents that are shared with the email.
But that's already in there. That's part of our service. I'm just bringing it up as a conversation, so
I'm getting more and more confused.
it doesn't matter, it's fine.
Is it business?
I would make the suggestion that if it's something that you need to have, we entertain a motion to see if we purchase it for the town. It would be cleaner than that way.
I think I'm totally agreeing to be on.
On a specific software, if you're gonna do it on a 1 or 2 time usage, maybe. It's something to just allow. But we have that, I think we have that discussion in the council for software related stuff. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, prime example, like the chat GTP that we used 100 different times in other scenarios.
Yeah.
You know, there's the non-paid version and there's the paid version, so.
Yeah.
Not saying you have to even have this version, so. Anyway, that's my question, thank you.
Anyway, we have the money. I got some quotes a couple months ago and the prices have changed. But basically we have a,
Went lower?
unfortunately, I don't know that they went lower. There is, I'm gonna say this right now, there is a chip shortage in the world right now. Yeah, and with the buildup of AI that's going on in the United States, the chip manufacturers are focusing on building that. So small devices are not getting the attention that they used to get, so they're not as cheap as they used to be. So we need, in my opinion, we need to act sooner rather than later before it gets worse. And it's gonna get worse. There's a projection of about 75 AI data centers being built in the United States in the year 26 and 27. So I don't want that demand to pull away from what we have. When I priced them out, I priced 2 different devices. I priced a Microsoft Surface, which is basically a laptop computer with Windows based software on it. It came up to about $1,300 to $1,400, depending on what options you got with that device.
And that's for.
Per
What we would need.
per device.
Oh.
An iPad was about half that. There are some things that are nicer to do on a computer than they are on an iPad. But there's also some things that are nicer to do on an iPad than there are on a computer, so it just depends on preferences, but I would like to have the same setup for the council. Now, that being said, we're utilizing that computer now. That used to be Sharon's computer, and we reappropriated it to just do this technology stuff in here. I'd like to get Weston the computer, which would be similar to that. It would be a little cheaper, probably. Basic stuff. And I'd like to get Tracy a town phone. Just so that the communication that she's doing across are going off on the town phone instead of her own personal phone. If she or personal phone, she can have that discussion with me, but
Well, I think that makes sense.
She's gonna have to have double pockets.
Yeah.
welcome to the film.
It's not a burner.
It's not.
Not her. What did they? forget
Talking to
to
the
say
police
last
chief right now, he's not listening.
The
No, this is the one thing.
Okay,
good thing about that is the separation of worlds.
what about cloud storage or your storage option?
I think we'd have to try to keep it to the basic for right now.
So the only problem you got. It is secure, but it's not. It doesn't have the license,
Right.
just so you're aware. That's the only downside.
Which is another reason why I really want to push towards only using that device for town related stuff, so we don't have any potential
Oh, it will be.
cross contamination. Um,
I can. If I can speak up, sorry. I think we go with the more affordable option. I think. We can be prudent in what we're doing. I only worry of the storage situation. You're gonna have to do box or something else. Because. Apple's is there and is very secure, but. Does not have a view. I don't think it does. Would you be, what do we call it? Or maybe you have to pay a different service to have that.
you can pay for a service for BD.
On the iPad.
I don't know what it costs.
I really think that the box or. The other thing is probably just as good. But whatever you decide.
The other thing we could do is go to a more affordable laptop version, but it'd be just a straight up laptop. I was trying to go to a more of a tablet version where you could. You're going to a meeting or something that could have someone take notes with more easily. A little lighter version, it's not taking up so room and whatever you're gonna carry it in.
Well, I think the app, I mean, if you get obviously a keyboard system with it, I think the Apple is. Really good for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Again, my only concern is the storage. So you're gonna spend 8 or 9 on storage or. The cloud system.
Well, I'm
Actually, that's not true, sorry, we're fine. Because we already have a cloud system through,
you
through
should,
Microsoft.
you're.
Yeah, you just have to add it. Yeah, you're right, I'm sorry. Just took a minute.
Sometimes it makes more sense when you say that.
Yeah, it wasn't clicking, but yeah, we already have OneDrive through. Yeah, we can just, I'm just down. But we're fine.
I'd like to start purchasing those devices. We're probably gonna have to spread it out over a couple of months for that iPhone. But I'd like to entertain the motions to start purchasing the devices for the council and for the rest of and Tracy.
Where do you find good? First, where are you gonna go first then?
What do you mean?
Said you can't do them all at once.
No, I would just start buying them and then. As the next month renews our credit card limit, we'll buy the rest of them.
Okay. And then just, give them out all at once.
Probably.
And
So we'd be essentially buying 5,000. Mike, Bentley, will you need any devices for your new SCADA system at the top, or are you ready to use your phones and laptops and computer? What do you feel like you need down there? Good?
Yeah, we use our own.
they got more technology, they know what to do.
Mike's a great fan of technology.
Oh, yeah.
He was- I could hear him back there
That's
asking
kinda
for
like
more.
me.
All right,
Right,
what is the budget?
we have at minimum $10,000. It's probably a little more than that. I haven't evaluated, I think with the sound system in here, the TV system, the camera system, I think we're roughly sitting at about we had $20,000. Total. So I know we have about $10,000 we could utilize for sure. But I'd like to keep a buffer in there for. If we purchase a monitor here or something like that. Something. We should be doing purchasing. I mean, we could always got a card that
All right, I make a motion that we approve going forward with these devices. The iPad device. That is the one that you mentioned was the lower cost, right?
That's what I recommend, yeah.
The lower cost, right? Okay,
Did we have a second?
Teresa second, yeah. Any further discussion on this? Well, I will help set up every device, but. I'll give her to help too. You're welcome.
So,
Yeah,
thank you for this,
Oh, I'm gonna talk.
and thank you for discussing the difference between the tablet and the laptop. Because I think is the only difference. Thank you very much. You just got off.
All in favor?
To boot off.
Motion carries. Okay, so we have in there. Ordinance that I didn't really put forth, but I put forth. A while back, but we can look it over. I actually guess it's a resolution, not more than this. Which is gonna be an electronic device policy for the town of Cokeville. That being said, we got a lot more electronic devices. I want to make sure we keep them. As safe as possible, one and. As treated correctly as possible. There's just some nuances here about if something's, something comes missing or whatever. We have a reporting policy for that. Things that we have the right to reserve access to. And the stuff we're not allowed to disclose. It just kind of helps protect us as a town with these added devices. Does anybody have any serious heartburn on this? You have a motion to approve it, you want to move forward with it, you want to table it,
Do you need a number on this?
they would be 226.
is it, do they do 2602? Or do you do the two and then it doesn't matter? I don't know.
2-2046 is where I think it might be. That,
Our last one was.
How many of you guys have read through this? It was the truth of all of it.
I haven't all the way through. I was waiting for something to.
Pretty basic information, just goes by.
I'll give you some information on where it came from. I copied and pasted most of this from my company's electronic policy.
I was gonna say, a lot of this looks fairly cut and paste.
So. This is kind of what I changed some of the wording from my company to the town of Cokeville or to the towns. Where it was applicable, but that's most of us copy and paste from the company I went for electronic policy.
Cool.
What was the resolution number?
It should be 2-2026.
Motion that we pass resolution. 2-2026.
So it's a thorough, second by Wade. Any further discussion?
Thanks, Brittany.
All in favor of passing resolution 2-2026?
Right.
Motion carries. Okay, one last thing that I have before we go to. Board. Currently, if I know, but we've been trying to get a sewer back trailer for the town guys for a while now. There is currently a sewer vac truck. It's in Idaho. And it's 2007. It's got 21,309 miles and it's on an auction right now. Current bid on it is $10,000. For reference, these trucks, when they are new, are at a minimum of about $675,000. We were looking at purchasing a trailer, which would be a very small version of this. For $130,000. What this would allow us to do is to, one, jet our own sewers. We wouldn't have to contract that out anymore, $10,000 a year. Two, if these guys have a water leak or sewer leak or whatever, they can have a safer way of excavating that without causing more damage than they do. Three, just general cleaning up of some things. We'd have a better maintenance of our sewage system.
Is that only sewer, or is that like some of the drainage, storm drainage too?
It'll vacuum up and.
Okay, so it's,
You can hydro excavate with it, and you can clean your sewers and,
it's a good Hoover is what you're saying.
it's a damn good, I'm sure. This, for example, this water break that we had out here.
Okay.
We had to utilize the fire department's pumps to get that out and get that fixed. Had we had this truck, we wouldn't have had to utilize the fire department. We could have pumped it right out, cleaned it right up, been done.
How many times in a year would we utilize something like this?
No.
You don't know that. I can guarantee you we utilize it at least week out of the year. Because we could jet and we could jet all the sewers in town on our own instead of just doing about a third of the town what we do now. Every year.
So what budget are we wanting to go to if need be?
Well, that's what I'm proposing is that I propose that we put a bid on this, but I think in order for us to put a bid on it, we need to have a cap for the town to bid on it. And we can bid up to that cap.
What are we spending on this pumping service we do now?
$10,000 a year.
For only one week, right?
Yeah, for a third of the town.
For a third of the town.
2 days.
2 days is what it takes, actually, yeah.
10,000 for 2 days.
So it costs you 30,000 if you did the whole town.
Yeah, at least. I would, it's got 5 days left on this auction. I would suspect it probably. It will not sell. If it sells for less than 60,000, it would be about a shock. I was just gonna say, I don't think you're gonna pick it up. Yeah, I don't see it.
So where in the budget is this come out of?
So we have some funds left over from our well construction we can utilize. Because it came from our general fund.
What is that number?
Roughly. Doing some math here.
How old is this?
2007.
But it doesn't have a whole lot of hours on it.
It has 21,000 miles. It doesn't state what the hours are, but it says it was very well maintained.
Yeah, cool. Well, that's what I meant. Just in this.
And I tried to call today and I didn't get an answer.
You know what the longevity of these normally are?
125 years on heavy use.
So it's 20 years from now.
Yeah, that's, but this is like. I just got these. So- These units, they use in the oil field all the time. These trucks. They'll run them 700,000 miles and 18,000 hours.
So you figure we've got at least 50% life?
And it's as much as we would utilize it, it would easily probably last us 10 years with very little.
But those who've never been on one of those and don't know what they can do, they have a hard time comprehending that kind of, spending that kind of money on that kind of machine, but, I've seen what they can do. And the time it takes away from. It's just like that a few years ago, like this up there over in Joey's. We'd had that machine there.
Bring us the fiber optic cable to go
Yeah.
that underneath.
Where it's regular signal. So that we can't do it very hard to do. Didn't clean anything. It will. They'll suck the mother away from everything.
So,
They
so,
use them at the mine 24/7.
so so last year we overspent in sewer. And water, and so I haven't seen that spend down schedule, are we? On track for a similar kind of experience, and does this go on top of those expenses, or is there some other? So you know, if you successfully get 60,000, is that put us in worse position in terms of having to put all this from the general fund? Hard to predict,
Well, it's kind of impact, but.
Well, eventually, yeah, so. If the Sweetwater thing kicks off this year like it was supposed to, we would have those funds, $130,000 coming in to replace this.
So mobile equipment is what I'm thinking.
That's what we allocated for it, this. But. In order to get that impact schedule is taking longer than we expected it to take. And my concern is with the age of our water system and our sewer system. We are prone to have a few more failures than what we probably have had in the years past, just because it's getting that age.
Well, just look what happened out here in the street here a month ago. That's it.
The other thing is when you have a major break, especially in a water system, like this one was, it really weakens the ground structure. So when you excavate it out and you put someone down in that hole, you have no way of ensuring that they're very safe.
Without that big metal thing between them.
Without it, yeah. So
They stick in the wall.
but when we have to excavate this out, if we put a trench box in, the trench box isn't big enough to cover the side of the trench because it's over excavated too much. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So now we can tailor our excavation exactly what needs to be, making it a safer excavation and minimizing the damage. So it would save us money in repairing the road that we had to dig, or the sidewalk has to dig up, or what have you, because we didn't have the excavate so water through.
So again, what's your sense based on our kind of spending schedule then? And you're saying we've accounted for this if we get the impact fee. If we don't get the impact fee and get $60,000
Why?
piece of equipment, what happens then? Is that
We are,
about all our general
so,
funds?
no, we have. I don't wanna say this too loudly because I think it's very important that we have. A safe place to operate for the town. Given costs. I do feel like we have enough in our general fund. We would have to probably have a rereading of our budget prior to the end of the year. Which is 4 months from now. To cover that total cost. But as of right now, I think we might have it in this what we have between some various accounts in the water, the various accounts in the sewer. And possibly some capital out of stuff that we have set aside.
But you can use capital outlay for that kind of purchase.
Absolutely.
When you're done, I just have something to say.
Okay. Go ahead.
I just say, we have a big thing coming up, where we have to verify every. If they're like lead lines, lead goosenecks, all the lines going into homes. That's a big thing that the EPA is requiring, and it has to be done by 2027. So with this truck, that would be super easy just to do a little square down to the line, and we could see what we have instead of going to everybody's yards and streets and digging it up with the back end. So that's another point that you could consider.
In my opinion, we'd probably be money ahead, even if it costs $150,000 to get it. We'd be money ahead to cover it. And we'd have to probably have a reading of our budget to cover that high of an amount. The good thing is it's on an auction and it has had zero movement in 15 days to 10,000.
Yeah, but most of these auctions, the movements in the last,
It's the last 2 days.
it's really not, it gets crazy.
Is everybody else?
You know, and it's just, you get that machine, it's not limited to just Cokeville. It's something like Cameron, they've helped us out a dozen times with parts and stuff like that. That's something like that going over there, you know. It would be nothing to run it over there to help them out, you know. Charging a little bit for it and then come back, but there's like I said, I just seen what they can do, and
We get,
like Bentley says,
we get in a situation where we can't turn off the valve because of a full of rocks or something, we can suck that valve box out in a matter of 10 seconds. Where they get it.
So you're feeling that there's enough in these other funds. Obviously, when the 96 budget.
What's the number you're proposing?
We didn't go that far yet.
I haven't really thought, I said if we could get it for less than $150,000, we could. But I don't, and I think we could, between the various accounts, I've done a lot of, Wayne asked me last month if I could try to find some money for it. So I started looking for money, and then this one came up, and I was looking for money for that trailer is what I was doing.
And we were expecting to pay how much for that trailer?
130,000, which would be probably an eighth of the size of this truck. Get this truck,
But was that a brand new trailer?
brand new trailer. The trailer is probably, it's probably not the best bet, but it would have been to get us by.
and they just last because there's on their own. Right, and they don't hold the volume up there where you try to get running on its power. Right. You need license.
This is relevant, so if we get the funds to upgrade the sewer system. And it would charge a dumping fee, does that have to stay in the sewer system fund, or can any of that go back to the general fund?
States, it'll be part of the self-sustaining sewer.
Okay, that's my thing.
But that being said, you can utilize those funds for paying for assets within the sewer. Which this will be.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking that's.
Which is another.
So
point
did you,
brought up
hold on.
right there is. If we do changes on that sewer plant with those impact funds, in the receipt, we got awarded them. Which would be a very effective tool for us to utilize down there to do that.
So
We might even be able to use a portion of those dollars to help pay for that. Have a tool to be able to construct that.
So can you allocate money back into the general fund as a reimbursement? Is that what you're saying? for the purchase of it?
Water and sewer to be self-sustaining, but they can be
Supplemented.
supplemented by the general fund. So we can't take from the water and sewer, the town cannot profit, so to speak, into the general fund for the water and sewer. What comes into water and sewer needs to stay in the water. and
Well, I
sewer.
guess what I'm saying is if you buy it with the general money. And get that other money, can you pay back into it from that fund?
But you wouldn't have to draw the general fund anymore,
Right,
because it'd be self-sustaining.
So it's a one-time goal.
Yeah, so the one thing that it definitely does for us immediately is it saves us $10,000 a year. We spent for the last, how many years, Mike, have we been doing the cleaning with the?
So I think it's getting more every year.
And well, we're getting less work for our dollars, what we're doing, because we allocate $10,000 a year to go clean our sewers. And we just tell them, go clean as much as you can clean for that $10,000, and we end up with roughly a third of the town getting clean. And almost every year, it's happened twice since I've been mayor, we've had a sewer line back up because of tree roots. Because we can't keep up with it. And then we're going back out and trying to get that line cleaned. We're having to come bring them back in at an added expense, which is part of the reason why we're going over on our sewer. To get that line clean, because we don't have the equipment to do it.
If you were to book it out, what would I know it's on auction, but if you were to book it out, what's the value?
$385,000.
So let's pick a number and vote.
That's what I'm waiting, I'm kind of looking for.
I need, here's the thing, it's just like what Wayne said, I don't know this well enough. To give a number. Because I have no fact, I mean, if we're talking computer stuff, I can throw something out there, but I have no idea. So
Well,
I'm gonna lean on Wayne on this.
I'm gonna throw this out to you. I suggest that we throw out, that we put in 150,000. We'll go that deep. But in my opinion. I don't think we'll get it for 150,000.
you think there will be more?
I know, if it's not, it'll surprise me knowing, because.
So we'll need an
That's
emergency,
what, they're just playing games right now on these auction boards.
yeah,
In even the last 2-3 hours, I mean, they'll just start bombarding that thing. It'll just go up. But I don't.
what number do you feel comfortable with that doesn't hurt, doesn't put us in a bind?
Here's my thought process on it too. Another option that we could do, we don't have to, but we could do. We could take what we could come up with for cash and pay towards that in cash, and then we could go and get a loan or. Do the rest of it. If we wanted to do that, and keep our annuals down. Where we recovered with that $10,000 that we're already paying on the sewer. But I'd rather not have the debt, I'd rather just pay for that, but.
You know, if you can.
And my personal thoughts, looking at the financials, I think we could have a rereading of our budget and allocating some funds out of the general fund. To cover it.
How often do these come up for auction or so really all?
Not very often.
That's the first one I've seen.
The reason why they don't come up for auction very often is because they're extremely expensive. I suspect what's happening with this community is they've gotten a grant from the state of Idaho that says they can go buy it.
This isn't something we could get a grant for either, but
No,
Not the state of Wyoming. They're not buying it, they don't do grants for equipment in Wyoming.
until legislature changes them.
In fact, it's hard to get a grant for anything.
So back to my original question, what was the number that doesn't smashes.
I am comfortable at 150,000 in my opinion. I'm like Wayne, we less than 150,000, I am gonna be shouting.
We'll be doing backflips.
Yeah, I would shout hooray all the way to. All the way there to pick it up, and driving it all the way back.
Well, I'm gonna defer to you guys on that. I just wanna make sure that we're not stretching our number no matter what. No matter how good of a deal it is, if you don't have it, you just don't have it.
I agree with that
I
statement.
would do. So I'm letting Wayne make that decision.
You've got money in your coffers. Or an investment,
That's
We
true.
do have those.
put it back,
Right.
but you have to manage to put it back.
I would hate to lose it over 10 grand too.
Good point, but, let's work from there.
See what number you got. Let's do it. Put a motion for it.
You people as the town. We're here for your input, what, you know.
Well, I'd at least go 160, 170,000. And if it gets that high on you, then I'd look at a new one.
The new
Yeah,
you know what I mean, yeah.
And you look at a brand new truck, because them trucks are out there. New ones, but they're expensive.
Yeah, they're
12 years ago at the mine, when I was working at the mine, we purchased a brand new one for the tipples. And that was 12 years ago, and they get 375,000 for that.
yeah, so I priced one out.
But that's something again, they'll clean more stuff than you could ever imagine.
Do you
You could
already
use
put
them.
impact fees?
No,
Nowhere on any of the impact fees, you don't have a,
we have it up. We have it allocated on an impact fee that we're supposed to be getting,
and how much do you have allocated for?
130,000.
I'd get it. Do you think you'll get the impact fees? Who's it with?
It's the Sweetwater mine,
So it's the
it's the
slurry
Trona mine.
over at Granger.
Mhm. Which
Better than it doesn't yet.
Cause you could, if you got it, and then you got your impact fees, and then you could always, I mean. There was a bunch of money in the Wild Star, I think it's still there.
yeah,
I don't know that you'd, I mean, you're not gonna lose much if you cash a CD. But. If you don't make it. But
well, even just our bank balance right now, we have enough to cover it. But
Well, I'd bid it up to where. You know what's reasonable, what you can not get in trouble for. At least bid that way, because you're gonna have to keep bidding on it probably.
yeah, I would put this out there to the council that before bidding. I will talk to the community representative and get a better history on
make your motion for this much, not to exceed this much.
it. Right.
That's true. That's true.
Let's go there though. Did you know where to call
Yeah,
it? You know where to go when we're watching it online. I don't know where we can go. So if you go too far, then you know what pole I'll hang you on.
That make you feel real good.
Post Junction.
I would say we'd like to get it for less than 150, but not exceed 180, if that was my suggestion there.
That'll work with me.
Go ahead, Wayne.
If someone would make that. motion.
I'll make that motion. We're gonna start 150, not to exceed 180,000.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion?
I think we've
So,
discussed it.
but what I was looking at was kind of analysis to say. You know, because you basically have, buy versus rent versus lease, these kind of services. The job is to be able to clean out sewer and have the right to rent it out, and sometimes it's easier. It's less expensive to lease that service, or rent that service, than to purchase the service through this kind of equipment. So I just wish I was more clear on, you know, what is the time frame we're looking at? How do you compare the two options?
So the thing is with this machine, when you gotta schedule it. You just can't go get it whenever you want, you gotta schedule it.
Right.
And if you're not ready in their time frame, they bypass you.
Yeah.
You're out.
So
What other
the
towns have
cost of convenience.
Camera had it?
Cameron has a trailer.
Give me a tree.
What about Starbound?
I don't know what's.
I don't think Cameron's got our Starlight got one. The cameras, they've got one, but it's just on a little trailer. And mainly it's just, I talking to Andy Rod about it. He said mainly all they do with theirs is like clean my water shut offs. That's about all they can do, because there's just back there, holding tank's only 150.
Can other communities, when you make it in there, you're utilizing it in more than one community?
Yeah, we could, so what we,
I mean, that's,
what Wayne was saying is we could go to Kemmer and Diamondville and say, look, we got this machine. If you come into a situation where you need it, this is what it costs. I can tell you what they cost right now. For Williams to get one of these machines to show up on a Williams location, it costs $300 an hour at the minimum. Most times it's $10,000 a day. Just to show up.
And you're gonna have to look at maintenance after you get it.
There is some
There's
maintenance.
systems and stuff on them that needs to be
and that's what I'm kind of,
continually cleaned.
but I will tell you. Having that, and I look at our storm drainage issues that we kind of have. Cause I'm over streets and whatever, I mean. It'd be nice.
There's a lot of uses that we could utilize it for within our community that would save us a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort.
But also actually get something done where we haven't done before.
We can accomplish them and do a better service and maintenance of our community. The other thing is we could provide a service to our neighboring communities as well.
You clean spring gutters, do everything that thing.
And I already know the streets that I would clean.
Well, with everything you guys have discussed and with what Bentley said, because those are things that I've lived in other communities when I visited. Sometimes we forget about the fact that we've got old sewer systems to houses. And with what you said and with what Bentley said, I'm okay with this. Because I can understand how necessary it is. And then when you said, and it does happen, if other communities know that we have it, and if they need it and we're not using it, that's income.
Even if you're leasing one. You're probably half the value. So that's still way more money than what we're going to pay to buy this.
So to buy one, so the lease will be based off of a purchase price.
And also usually on new.
Yeah,
Not on
it's
used one.
you can't do a lease on a used one.
So you're already 300 something thousand in there, so we're still way better off.
Last year I quoted a brand new truck, very, very similar to this one. $675,000 for the basic model.
Yeah, you wouldn't lease it for less than 300,000. I mean, it'd be a huge.
So.
So are we okay then?
All in favor of that?
Aye.
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 That's 50 to 80 to 180, right?
Yeah.
150.
Not to exceed 180. So that being said, you got your fees and stuff that are on there, so.
Right.
There's gonna be some of that. I gotta be able to be very, very careful on the math and not exceed.
Right.
180.
I know what you're saying.
So,
Okay. Next.
I believe. That's all I had except for executive session. That's right. So we got them. Oh, forget Mike every time.
Mike,
And
Eric.
And it's written right here. We need to put that in bold red. Eric, do you have anything more?
The only thing I have is I just need you to sign something for me.
Okay.
I put in for a vest, I put in vested canines. To pay for training for certification for Harley in May. In order for me to do that, I have to apply for an actual bulletproof, stat-proof vest board. And I can't sign it because I'm the handler, so
I'll sign it.
if the mayor or somebody from the council can sign it, that's the only thing I have. And I did put in for some Narcan for the dog through them too, that's free. So that's all I have.
If I can sign it. Mike?
I don't have any.
Complaining about then.
I've got mosquito conference next week.
Next week.
Mosquito conference,
Mosquitoes.
Russian cease, right?
just leave it. Kobe will get to it.
Do we have a motion to go into executive session?
I make a motion that we go to executive session.
All in favor? We'll be back eventually.
Don't say that.
Yeah. You think I'm gonna leave a pets?
I drink that.
Oh, I fall asleep. I think my money will last as long as it has.
You know what I learned? When you stop drinking soda and you really cut it down, when you decide to drink 2 liters in one day, you don't go to sleep till 3:30 in the morning.
That's how it used to be. If I drank like a Mountain Dew afternoon. I'm
See,
screwed.
That's, I sometimes will have on lunch, but I'm on Sunday, we have 2 liter and I started drinking before I knew I did the whole thing, I did not go to sleep till 3:30 in the morning.
The problem is,
It's like, what the freak happened?
the problem
I used
is,
to be able to drink, go to sleep.
if you drink a can after 4 PM though, you stay up for a while.
Don't drink 2 liters.
So-
You stop.
Not me. I drink one at 9 o'clock and go to bed.
That's the way I used to be. I'd drink one and go just lay down and go to sleep. Now, if I drank that right now, I'd be up and up. But what freaks going on?
I can still drink energy drink indoors.
Not that I do. I don't do everything.
Yeah.
2 or 3 a week, maybe.
Yeah, but you drink caffeine, you drink caffeine coffee and stuff, so you're.
I just got stuff in the morning.
You're used to some caffeine. I don't really have the most of the line out, but that one Sunday I drank it all day long. And it's seriously, I wouldn't sleep like 3:30. And I'd get up at 6 to go to work.
Like, why did you stop drinking?
I just decided to stop.
It's safer just to keep drinking
You
it.
probably would. You probably would. I just decided one day to stop drinking, and I drink whatever once a day.
Oh, we got my office yesterday.
I'll let you know, I don't forget to get it going ready, because, you know, that'll happen.
Right, I like your shirt, bud.
Are you gonna start coming every month now, that your mom's coming?
Yeah, no,
Maybe.
He is
I
done.
usually walk at home, but I wanted to be here for Douglas's thing to take pictures. Cause I do watch at home, I'm with Glenn, I'm on the.
Why do you want to 3 people?
Just because one counts as this.
That's what I was looking to see.
There was probably more earlier, by now, pretty much everybody's gone.
I was gonna take Trevor, but. I'm gonna take Trevor, that one was still here.
Is that a sin?
No, I'm taking a chance in the temple.
I,
Cause it's good
you can't do it on Friday. Dude, it's different.
Take the stake center down to that big church and put it there.
What time you have
Do I have,
back in?
Mom, are you going today? Mommy, are you going today? I'm tired, Mom.
So.
I'm gonna answer for,
No,
you don't think I know the answer?
Yes.
Well, you went at your house, they drive by.
Mom, where is Mom?
Yeah. We're gonna know. I'll get
We can take him.
Saves my day. Told me my.
Dad.
How's he gonna go over and get his friend?
He'll be out of luck anyway.
He always gets out of the car and walks the wrong way to the wrong school.
The nice thing is, he can sleep in tomorrow,
No.
especially now that he's been up late.
Let him get up at the same time.
Yeah, go wake up them Dayton's.
His teacher needs the experience it's how to
Takes
get
out
it.
pizza every morning.
See,
Everything crossed.
yeah, anything needs to happen.
There's right. No, Miss Ben's gonna kick my lawn.
Oh.
He'll go home, take about 3 yawns.
I wish I could.
If I make it to the house, I'm gonna be good.
I'll probably have to do
Oh,
like
you got
6
that.
laps, like, take care of these colors, and then I'll still not back. Midnight, I'm gonna leave.
Oh, you're in your phone trip.
So now I wanna ask you.
I was gonna say, you're not home and just.
Usually out now, you're so drained when you finally get home.
But seriously. Pick up the beats.
And yeah, you'll walk outside and look forward, even like.
I don't think it's the thing that's. Space.
I thought you were gonna say out.
I'm calling us, see up there. A little thing, a lot of this, when I did it. Well, some of the guys, so. Yeah, I can't go down to sleep.
Wait.
That's super chill.
You go to bed at 12 o'clock at night, I sleep last night at 12 o'clock.
You sleep 12 hours a
Yeah,
night.
that's all I'm
Good night.
Last night I went to bed at 8:30.
And slept till when?
No, that's it.
I was gone, I'm still tired.
You slept for 14 hours, or you still tired? It's like 2 hours sleep.
Yeah.
You know, what would be a perfect like
No.
sleep,
No.
just 24 hours, just straight full day and night. Sleep.
I get like 5 in and my back starts hurting so bad.
My perfect would be if I could get 6 hours solid sleep.
And last thing, I don't remember the last time I had actually let him sleep. Cause I just wake up over like hour and a half or
I'm
so.
telling you, it's simple things.
Oh, I'm sitting there, I thought it was one argument.
Mike was saying that.
Yeah. I got the call, I thought it was a call. Yeah.
No.
Only one of mine, they didn't stop, I heard this right off the phone.
Yeah, right, there's that freaking thing was on. When my dog said, it was time to get it for work. Because they were on, it's not do it, you think, no, since it's time to go to work. Yeah, that took me a minute to get back to sleep.
I thought it was a fire call when this phone went off this morning.
The silver.
Did both your phones go off last night or just one?
Just my first time.
My work comes over
Yeah,
when
both of mine went off. This is that confuses the crap out of me. I need to talk to Dave about it. The dude goes missing on the 10th. And they send out the alert at 1:30 in the morning, 3 days later. What in the heck are they thinking?
They're just barely coming through.
Maybe that's what it is.
That's what I thought.
It's like, I think they'd be past here a long time ago.
It's like, you're 3 days late.
Yeah,
I
when I
was looking for this guy, and if not, you could have waited.
That's what I was like,
Extend it out.
Who's up at 1:30 in the morning looking for this guy?
when I saw him, like, I'm not gonna find it tonight, and I just put the phone back down, it's like, I can't.
Nobody's driving the roads at 1:30 in the morning. Why not?
Yeah.
Even if that guy's on the road, nobody else is.
Yeah.
Yeah, see him. They won't start.
Yeah, that's. You're kidding me? Cause when I looked at it, it's like, I've been last seen on 1:10, it's like, why are you spending an hour? I was 3 in the morning. Because he'd already had a safe line before he suddenly lost. And it's
That's
like,
what I'm saying, we're like 3 days from at least 7 hours before.
So do you have iPhones or Samsung?
he's got one on each.
On your iPhone?
His work comes out.
My work phone.
That's what we're on.
Cause I thought iPhones were the ones that got all the alerts, but it's Mike's, so it's getting it Samsung.
So it depends on, I don't know where I'm at, and sometimes one gets them, sometimes the other one doesn't, but both of them. Not at the same time.
Cause when we had those,
Within a couple seconds, so that freaking tone was going for, well, it seemed like forever, 1:30 in the morning. I said, what the freak's going on here?
Both my phones are iPhones. I usually get almost all, like, I'm also on with all of them. But Whitney gets half the ones that I get, and she does have the same thing.
cause did you guys get the weather one?
Yeah.
I finally had the super bad one.
Oh, the weather, lower, yeah.
I think that was
Yeah,
alerts.
See down, but,
that one was.
Maybe I had it shut on.
maybe.
The way show.
I think there is for the United States.
If you have settings, oh, the messages.
About it, I just don't know. Then it took me a little bit of time to get my city.
Oh, we've done the same night for. Adrenaline would have hit me, it was a fire call, and I would have been fighting.
I don't know what your fire telling those things, is it just a E3 leaks or what does it do?
I find
Yeah.
Yeah. See if I can find it.
Make sure I used to. I have my work phone, so it just means like an old fashioned phone. No matter when I wake up. And I always think that I sound like wide awake when I talk to him, but I'm sure I'm half asleep. Well, they probably think that I'm half asleep, I'm like, man, I feel like I'm wide awake right now.
Well, you remember the call that, the J that I called you on? And then you called me back, and I'm like, when you called back, and I kind of figured you just barely woken up, actually.
Yeah, that's when I was like, oh, started processing.
This is what it is.
That's your microphone. I have the same, I have phone, my ringer is the same as my one.
So yeah, when I hear that, I'm wide awake.
I don't use my phone, using one.
And then Annalyn's like, what happened? Is everything okay? I haven't even got my phone, like, calm down.
It's not sitting in my bed.
That's down on the floor.
Oh, I have mine right on.
We had one night stand, well, we had two, they were matching, and I don't know where the other one went. One of the cheap Amazon ones. Got lost somewhere in the movie, so she took the one and mine just sits on.
Mine's I stand this. But yeah. Another morning, 3:40, my granddaughter, they text me, sent a message. She's like 6 months old. She was helping, she was pushing buttons and something about her small 70 message, 8:30 in the morning. And I looked at it and thought, well, must not be important to go over Facebook Messenger. I'm like, she needed some, she would have called me, not to send me Facebook Messenger at 8:30 in the morning. But it went off at 3:30 and moved me out for a second, and I
Wanted to make sure you were awake.
so I told her, because she told me it was the granddaughter, I said, well, when she gets a little older, if she wants to text me in the line, I guess it's okay. Not right now. She wants to talk, that's fine. She was just pushing buttons while my daughter was feeding her in the room or something. It freaking sent me a message. I'm like, what the fuck?
See, that's hard, cause yeah, like I have everybody silenced except for like my family and then Mike. But that one, whose family, they're scanned from your family. Can't block them at night.
I don't know how to do that. That's what thing how to do that.
So it's like on your do not disturb. There's a sleep setting. So I can hit sleep and I can have it. It'll come through if somebody calls me. But I only get text notifications from my family and my. And then the only app that will alarm is the fire app. Cause I was sick of getting like the Apple News. At like 5:30. Yeah. So yeah, I just have been too lazy to get to that, but.
All in my case, rolling like the basically that's not with everybody. It's in the sense that you do so that. I see you, but anyway, I can all of you guys and so.
I like Snapchat memories, it's the worst. I don't even use Snapchat, but.
You guys brings on.
It always brings memories up, and I never click on it.
So under focus. And you know, just sort of. And then you people and go through, usually not disturb. Otherwise, it'll show up. And such and such has, you don't disturb turned on. Let's see.
So this guy sometimes the guys work fine and need some things that only person is wrong. One's an Eagles. I think we tried to do a second first. But he wants it on the. On the. First.
That's my problem too. I go to church and I silence it. And then I'm sitting there on the couch Sunday and the fire truck goes flying by. Crap. Left it silenced from church. I always forget to, unsilence it.
Well, that's what I've got used to. Cause that's, I have mine on silence. It's like, I sit down there too, so this family himself, and then also they tried calling me, but it was like silent. Well, I was keeping knocked on the board, and the dog ahead of it. I didn't get bored. The dog must have said, the dog was quiet.
The guy's outside here and you're like, please answer.
And then I'm trying to go knocking. Go out and sing. I feel happy. And then it's kind of. But so now I'm pretty. Occasionally I'll have it on some for a little bit, but I'm pretty good about just insurance and things. I don't know what to do.
That's why I try to call it too much, but I know if I open up, you're gonna be way proud.
You like it, if I get called out. Or the other side, it's a recent handle those cases and get back to sleep.
That's like the fire calls at like 3, 4 in the morning. So it's not even worth trying to go find the image.
So when I get called up at 5, I'm like, wait, I just want to go to it at 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I'm starting on.
Often, down, like, you're gonna be on till about 5 o'clock, you're going home. Alright.
So it's like the working. It's just 3 of them tired of doing. Yeah, that stuff. If it was 3 o'clock in the morning, I would probably go back and lay in bed with the. Probably goes off of the film.
That's the problem, is if I can get back to sleep, like that close from there, I'll get it off, like, I'm not really gonna have it.
I still do.
I won't sleep for too long, but I won't be good to go on.
I already get to the office, plus the kitchen floor.
Well, next is quadrant about, if you get mommy gets it.
That's when you know it's kind
I was thinking, I know that much.
Good season. I'm going to be. See. Or. So we trained. Oh, see that. Less of mine, if I'm gonna get on. Are we trying to train the same thing? It's all enticing, just not. But already doing something better.
I do not have dogs for that reason.
Big ones are just kids. They'll do something on
If I had a dog in the face in bed, I would 100% be kicking it.
Well, that's, I probably with his body, he likes to jump on the couch, which is nice, helping out. But he's so big that he like pushes you, and I was thinking couch.
Yeah, that's right. Down last week. She would lay on a pillow like right on her head.
How's Tyson doing?
We've always had the big dogs in the so many places. The little Tracy little dogs. And then games with the things and once you were to nothing. But they are. I said, yeah, I'm gonna train that. And once, like in the day, they hardly was something to really with me. Sure way. Yeah, and second bit of nine. We need to go open this, you know, and try to, do this thing. She has a bed. She has a bed, someone. You know, what by the drive. They would put that there for business. If it was 6 to 8, sit out there and look at it, you know. It would sit there and not be other piece. It would sit and be something. Get something out a little bit. These things. Maybe something else that's like going to do that. That's
Felt bad last time. Well, what did you do while around? You sit on the couch. And then like jumped off and like he went to the rope. But he's still like barking the whole time because he's, you know, it was showing up. And then he like struggled to get down the stairs.
This is the problem.
You're gonna have a partly with like that.
We decided.
Well, we talked about it last week, you know, so.
Concerns is she's been not. See, I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's your problem.
And that's what we said.
Watching.
I was just worried about putting. It's only just meds on the food and having her use it. I know Tyson won't touch them. Tyson, you know, instead of his own business.
Yeah, usually.
No, don't, that's what sometimes, yeah, Tyson's going, right?
I have certain goals I'm trying to do in this. When I feed them something. It's the same thing. They get this good and bowls. What a frequency even twice. We'll see by the time we get home, Harley will be home.
You
So you don't have a mess.
You drop it off in the purple.
Detail what I'm talking about.
You did?
No sign and all that stuff.
I noticed they're yelling your name and then. So I heard about if you have a problem with it, if you don't have a problem with it.
I heard y'all, I know what it said.
What's your thoughts on the back truck?
Let's talk about it. I don't mind spending that much. I wouldn't go with it, I want to say you just go buy a new one and make things. But I hope he doesn't get that right off the bat.
Go straight coming from you.
Yeah, I hope he, like I say, if he goes home tonight, go in 10 grand, get it up to 20 grand, and just keep watching it.
See, and I think what you can do is put your limit. And then it'll, so if somebody else
It's
bids,
still on that whole.
it'll put you up at the
Okay,
so if somebody bids 20,000, it'll automatically throw the town's bid at 21.
okay,
And then if somebody bids 150, we're out because we can't go 100. But if somebody was like 149 or whatever, it would put in at 150.
okay.
And then we'll stop after that.
Yeah,
I don't know how that process would.
I mean, you could go in and automatically put a credit to 150, but that's not the point of the option. You want to get it as low as you can. Yeah.
You don't want to pay on big.
Not for sure.
Come up with all them sayings for their boys.
I think about it for a while.
I think about it more. The other day I had come talk to Davis for a couple of kids about that. Cause like some of them.
You did on your dad, it just cracked me up.
That one I just came up with today.
Did you announce it to your dad today?
The score guy, and then I announced the ref too.
I was sitting there asking Darren, who is Scott? Was it Harris?
Oh, Seth
Or
Harris.
Seth Harris? Who the heck is that guy? And Darren's like, that's the ref. Oh, okay.
He came walking out waving.
Yeah. It was while you were introducing it, before I even like.
Well, the only one I heard was the video lineman, you didn't even do nothing for Autry.
So for Nathan,
Nathan
he
Autry.
did when they were lining up,
Oh,
and he, for Nathan's, he.
I do it on the face off and then before match, I just announce it.
I was on there to watch the scan and get him his kid, I guess.
Next Wednesday with Montpelier, right?
Oh, I don't know, Mason's I got spacing it out, so I can't get very creative.
You might be a quiet kid.
Well, I think it's the last one on Wednesday.
Cause that was the problem, is I used all my brain power for last two. And this one's like, I can't repeat it, but. I just kind of mixed up the words and.
When Nathan's tonight was, he was becoming the family's favorite.
My favorite son in the Autry household.
Sold sound of the household.
He's about to
I,
know.
Jen,
I don't know if you saw Jen, you said it just like,
see, I wanted to see Jen's reaction, but I'm so nervous that I'm gonna skip somebody or mess up. That I'm like focused. So I don't even get to see their reactions, which is what I want.
there were a couple on them that I couldn't tell what you were saying on them. But they were pretty funny. Everyone on our side were laughing about them, so.
I think that's.
Well, then you get cash to.
He's such a dork.
He gets a singlet, he pulls a clear
Yeah.
pencil, the black stripe. Goes across his butt. And then he tries to just barely walk, so it stays down there.
Anyone walk out?
That's like what the weird kids do, is they want. Usually the wrestlers are hiking them up, and you get the awkward kids, they're pulling them to their knees, so yeah, he was.
Well, and then right there after he was through wrestling, he went over and dropped a singlet right there, put his shorts on. Then he tucks his singlet down into his socks. Pulls it up just barely, so it wasn't coming out of the socks. So I was like, oh my head. I'm like, you guys are the life of the party. I hate to see you state.
Did he only have an exhibition today?
Well, that's a big finding.
Yeah.
I talked to Todd, and he's like, yeah, we're coming to kick your butt. They had three kids that matched double cars. That was it.
They only brought 7 guys.
They came all the way for 3 matches at our duel.
I think the final score was like.
He down on the back of them?
Well,
They sat where the wrestler said or something. Bench. I didn't hear him say a whole lot. They kinda got their butts kicked. Except for his son that he wrestled with, but. Random kid from Wyoming.
Well, Marco's spell kills me.
that was tough.
I don't know how that kid's arms aren't
Well,
broken.
that's what we tell them. But like, you would have so much more energy in the third if you weren't fighting off your back the whole time.
Yeah, honestly.
You do super good. You spend your back, time on your back and you wear yourself out.
It was as soon as he got around him, he got the reversal. He'll just flip and he get right back on his back again. It's like,
And it's funny to watch across the bench at Todd and Jana. Cause Todd's arms were folded, then he's like, and Jana's over there. It's like,
It would be a stressful one.
guys.
It would be a stressful one.
it's funny watching Mike yelling. You just hear it from across the room, not talking,
Yeah.
just yelling. And then go silent.
Like this.
Yeah. Cause they're sitting pretty.
Yeah, they were
next to you
sitting right
guys.
behind me, yeah. And then you get Clint Child yelling up the other side. Then you have Landon up above me yelling at Mason, it's like, guys.
They can't hear us, but it helps. Me and Len, we tried the scoreboard, we're little folks, so then we're like, yeah, this probably looks bad, scoreboard's cheering and. Giving advice.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, we're still here if you want to come back. I was really confused as to why the last text I got from him was to put me off. And then I was like, oh, sure, okay.
Probably because we said we were gonna nominate him for something.
No, it's, I think it's because I put Lindsay off once. On accident, cause so Whitney drove by and I flipped her off. And then as soon as like she left, I saw my finger out, Lindsay drove by and she waved at me. I'm like, oh shoot, I hope Lindsay didn't think I was flipping her off. So I like drove around, she went to the school and I was like, hey, like, just so you know, like I wasn't Trying to put you on. The fellow point, so that night he thought it had to be a. Not that emergency.
So how do we stop this?
No.
Annalyn just said, your conversation's live on YouTube.
It does.
Be time to go in.
No, must say anything bad. Just stay against the wall.
Yeah.
Why is Anna Lynn still up watching, making sure that you're not
Yeah, she
lying
said,
to her about where you're at?
she said, I'm done waiting, good night.
I'm out.
Well, that looking at it, a better 6:45 on my phone.
Does he get up at 4?
Yes, you up.
It's up early.
5.
Oh, that's not her.
It's supposed to be up by, on the alarm by 5:30, but. There's nights that it's 1, 2, 3, and he's on his phone doing this job. And then when the alarm goes off, then he's too tired to get up.
That'll happen.
It's like, it's 6 o'clock, are you getting out of bed?
It's talking about having a phone button.
Yeah.
But the best part is when his boss calls him, I never seen him get out of bed so fast and get dressed and go.
Come on, I swear I'm on my way.
Well, and it's funny because when they call him, it's, most people when you answer like early in the morning, hello, he's just a, hello. It's like,
He's
huh?
mastered.
And then he thought today was Wednesday, so he was going all the way to Granger and didn't even have to go, so he turned around at Old Pal. Comes back and goes up to the branch and does the yard and was home by 11:30.
Tell him he forgot to remind me that I posted the volunteer.
Anytime tomorrow night at fire meeting.
Well, it goes for fire meeting. Told him I'd do it before to see if there's volunteers or whatever. You wanted it posted.
You volunteer?
Huh?
How long is the Hess guy?
Stetson?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
On there, almost a year.
it took me a month to realize who he was over there once. Actually, it took me until I saw like his truck in the parking lot. Oh, that's. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to see him. He was on there once before. I think that's the first one I've seen him at. That's the most firefighters I've seen.
I was gonna say, I haven't seen him drop all of that, I mean.
There was a lot there.
That's what I was thinking when we stopped and dropped these guys off, though, I'll just sit here, they probably won't be long, and then here comes some more, and here comes some more,
Every truck.
I
Yeah.
can take a roll call here.
Everybody's like, we gotta see if this place is burning down or not.
It was a fun call.
And then I thought, well, Bentley's gone, Aaron's not here, and there's another one not here, and I'm like,
Yeah, there was quite a few there.
then Doug gets home, and he said, well, Bentley showed up for cleanup. I
Yeah,
said,
he
well,
told me that.
he showed up,
And they all haters.
hey, it works.
Rolling up hoses in puddle of water slush.
I gave up waiting. They were taking too long cleaning up, I said, I'm done.
You didn't wanna help?
No, I just didn't look at it.
That's why Davis bought you leather gloves, so stay home.
No, that was other fires, not rolling up. I still like rolling up in the snow and I was out of that. Like now I'm good.
When I showed up, I had the garden hose and I was just sitting there spraying it with no nozzles, my thumb on the hose. Well, this isn't doing anything.
I tell you, freaking Ollie was all for getting the fire hoses out. He was
And you were pulling them out before I even left.
as fast as he could pull them out. He was like, you guys are done, get out of here.
You'll probably be going back. Yeah, when Stetson pulled in out here, he flings open the door and comes running, it's Nick and Derry, and I said, I don't think so.
Not
Well,
quite.
it's that address, I said, I think it's across the street.
I knew who it was when they gave the address and he got. I don't know Nick and Darren's address, but I know that one.
They're right across the street.
I know they're across the street, but I don't know, I wouldn't know what their address was, that would. I wouldn't know the house enough, but I know that it's. Where someone have them nice.
Probably a good thing Rose wasn't there, her head been spinning like the exorcist.
I like her bad. It's, there's what happened, first thing, before I.
Throwing all that installation everywhere.
Did they,
Have much of a choice but to throw insulation everywhere.
like I said, Mike, did they end up putting a hole on the right side of the fireplace or no? They did. No, he was trying to pipe that. When I was in there. Doug was mentioning putting a hole on the side to go over across.
He didn't want no holes.
Did you, you were there for the hole in the ceiling?
No, I knew that hole was there. I wasn't there for him trying to fight that one, cause I saw it was highly hurting them. Well, I think I got given a regular fire, so I was on that one, but.
This, I think it's. Yeah, it starts catching on fire, if we put it out.
Yeah.
Before the whole house burns down. It's fine if you have to. put a
Well,
hole.
you should fight us and then we'll just go stand by the neighbors to make sure it doesn't fly over that
I can't
way.
remember if Mike was the one that brought it up or Doug or Justin, but. Putting a hole on the side and going down it. He was like, oh, I'd rather you guys not. It's like, yeah, it was something else, I don't want to hold the wall.
I watched when they did Thomas's, I was in the nine house, where there were only like 3 firefighters there, maybe 4.
Yeah, I didn't go to that one.
And it was Kelly, Aaron was there, Jason was there. I think there was one other one.
I watched Ida Wallens from my driveway.
Well,
Just
just
take
like
another
they one of
one.
those, I always knew I was like. Right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
There are some close houses around here.
Did they clean your chimney this year?
They didn't wish you, they did that.
They came in over the summer, I thought.
You know, it's, I don't know, they cleaned it.
And there's a guy in from Idaho or somewhere.
I know we cleaned it one time they said it was a complete clean chimney.
Yeah.
Even after burning that nasty wood? Clogged mine up.
Yeah.
Yeah, neutral, the top was red hot and like sparks were coming out. Pretty. What's down in yet, it. Pretty
Probably the
clogged up with all that wet wood.
Yeah, so. I bought some from Justin Weaver this year because it was just not a pretty good way to think it was way dry.
Is it been sitting in a shed or something?
Your whole. Road and way to with different good. And then we started doing pencils. I like the stuff they did. I didn't shop some, they did it small and they did it so perfect. So it's one of that too, so it's still big enough that I can get on the one the chopper. Getting the freaking stuff. So I shove them and then it's like, whoa, this is a little too big. Then you're good enough on the chopper. Some of them are that big. But that, get it from them, works out pretty good. They know how to go find the wood that's good. You can see it from the left end of it and then very well.
There's, you might have to go in and.
If I figure out, that's why I'm using my right hand on the left.
It's fine.
Well, I think that's it. Really? It's been there for almost half an hour.
I'll tell you this. It's
Walk to the house, check on our grab her car, please.
So.
Actually, do you want to know where it comes from? It's one of these happy.
Well, I'm calling until he thinks it's he's already. Never gone. Yes, but she really built in.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, I texted her, thank you, and she said, "Yeah, I'm glad to meet you." I'm trying to remember if Amy did Jackman's or if it was Michelle.
So what's the break continue? Can they only talk for so long on the radio?
Yeah, I'm gonna see that.
Just
so
was,
she can be happy, but I'm gonna see it.
continuing, like, keep going. They do us kind of like we're on a traffic stop and they have a bunch of like returns for something, they'll say a bunch of stuff and they'll say break. And that's just so that if they're looking for something, we know that they're still have more, more to say. But we don't try to like say something. Or someone tries to say something. No.
She's not volunteer to do that, she didn't come and ask about it.
Yeah, sure.
Asked me, like,
Yeah.
she said, yeah, I mean.
When I talked to Amy, she's like, yeah, I see a note here from Mary Glad. And that's fine, we can do that. Oh, it's not good, like, what about it, right? He said, give me a few minutes, I'll send you a text. So yeah, just let me know, and I'll start it.
I got to go to the mom. Look at everything. Running means.
That's why I had the text ready. And then you got up there, and I'm the one supposed to send it.
Running is good. You have to solve them.
I didn't even get to say all I wanted to say. No, I needed to say. Everyone, let me go back up. After I sat down. I was like, oh, I have such a historical society.
You talking about.
There, it's like, no, you don't want that.
Talk to about at the work meeting, something.
I'm waiting for them home to work.
Yeah.
Go till 4 and then I'm out.
That's one of this talking about work piece, but.
Well, they said 2 hour work meeting, that's kind of only.
You guys just. So, I mean, if there's, just. Brad's always got to throw a wrench in. What? Brad's always got to throw a wrench in stuff. There you go.
It's got a little bit on 20, man. This sounds funny, I don't want to be here.
You don't have to go.
You don't have to go to it.
You've never been to one, have you?
Working?
Yeah.
I'm good, what I'm doing.
I've been working before you came on, buddy.
That's why you've quit.
Well, yeah, that was good enough. I was surprised Weston came over.
To get his picture.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, can we get his pictures?
That's funny. I didn't know people would show up to come.
I thought she had like a professional photographer.
I thought she was gonna use it to the camera.
Just do it on the side.
That's why she couldn't do it today at work.
Just like you went to.
You just need to start calling him Lefty.
Well, that's I couldn't think of his actual name today.
I saw Brian Carmichael at the uncle in between. When I got there before we came back, that's what he said. Just call him Lefty.
When I started dating him, someone told me that I was looking in high school. That was kind of mean, but okay, that sounded good, I guess. I completely forgot about it until last week we were at the first wrestling duel. Or we were either wrestling in basketball, one of the high school was mentioned, hey, how's it going, Buffy? And I'm like, oh, that's right, yeah, what's this?
Say when I was in there, but.
And then I knew Carmichael, that's all he calls me.
Yeah, I thought Carmichael was the original.
Carmichael told me that he called him. Well, I'll sound like Colin lately, let's see if we recognize you, so.
Yeah, the first day he's like, this is Lefty's truck, and we called him the white one. What's your truck? Well, let's just call it Lefty's truck.
I forgot I was gonna text you and be like, hey, it looks like you're on the phone with a Bobcat and then that tool in the front. You know, just this
A snowblower?
snowblower, or what was it? Well, it was pretty big, I didn't know what it was.
Snowball alleys.
You know, weird.
Let's just go there and feed out.
It's supposed to be a mower. Not fast, but I'm trying to. Hold on, just trying to.
We'll just pack the snow, you're the one that's packed all the trails down.
You just said you drove through it. I did drive the back side of, the Enjoy Hutchinson's. It was in the spring, but.
Davis, was you the one up for the rifle range spinning cookies and saying that?
No, I'm trying to figure out who that was. I've only gone to the range once.
You get your guesses.
In the parking lot or down?
Oh, it's
Target.
Now,
No, it's
through the targets
it's-
everywhere.
so it was around where the garbage can was. And they went down by the other parties and went going down there and see.
Gotta get your secret trail camera. So that
The
they
one that
can't,
blends into the trees
so
down the
that they
park.
can't shoot it, yeah, so it doesn't stick out like a
There's no-
square.
There's no trees down.
Yeah, there's nothing up there. We put it on posts.
Make the sagebrush blind.
Yeah, flash.
Cause that does stick out. Somebody really looking for it.
So I'm gonna remind you tomorrow, I'm sure you see, or Teresa says with the trail cam, you know, kind of this morning. I still haven't talked to him yet. But I showed up in my valley, down the yard yesterday, and I'm gonna chase it with the show.
I was at my house the night that you were at my house.
Was it?
You were gone 20 minutes and my light come on, my phone dings because I got a camera.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what is out there? So I look and. Oh,
Yeah, so I'm gonna get the camera, I'm gonna look at it, and then I'll talk to him, try to talk to him tomorrow, but probably they'll get home from work till 6:30. By the time we go over there, they're already gone, so.
Like the Australian show.
Jessica should be there.
Those at your house, somebody.
Your girl says she works till 6:30
Scared the
too.
crap out of them.
No, because she's working at our local post office.
I thought I saw it there cheap there.
And how'd she get
If
that?
that's the case,
She's just filling because Carrie is sick. Carrie's got pneumonia.
oof.
She's just filling in.
If I see her over there tomorrow, I'm gonna.
Be there Thursday. And if the Jeep is gone, the girls have it at school, so she is home.
The girls tell me that like 1 in the afternoon. At the house. While they're in the PJs, I'm like, shouldn't you guys be at school?
Now Jessica hasn't been working, so. She's home.
But anyway, that was probably Cooper.
Yeah.
Tyson
Guys,
or Mason.
Well, Kyle's not gonna take his truck up there. At least up to the dump. They're really the only one to go up to the range.
well, they spin cookies around the damn park.
In the park?
No, just around the
Around.
road.
No,
Around the backside.
that's probably why they were there. Last week, they were parked. Right in front of the cement, right by the park. At lunchtime. They doing that. Driving down there and. They were sitting there and they wait for it to go by. But they'd probably just been out there. Doing that.
Oh, they were just there eating one.
Yeah, they probably were just out there doing that before I go by.
One of these Thursdays or Fridays, I'm gonna do a 40-12 shift. Just because there's been other people that told me that people doing that at church and school.
We don't care about church. That's my problem.
They can serve the schools,
Yeah.
Well, I ain't got
We
that.
only care about park. And gunmen.
Yeah. Oh, hey, the fence for the Legion grounds is open. I want to open it. Oh, what? The fence for the Legion grounds, there's a gate just past the cuts. That gate right there was closed last month, I went over to start to check. Well, it's closed, I'm not dealing with it, so I just left it. I went up
Flowers
Friday.
or something.
I don't know who closes it. But it looked like it was locked. And so I went up last week and it was open, so I started looking at it and
You don't forget about that place. I forget it exists.
it's the same reason why I go and check out Wayman rentals.
So, yeah, they asked us to do that, and I saw, I was just fine, they for me.
Where's
The Wayman's shed, storage units.
I
Yeah,
was,
it's just two Sundays.
I forget that's
look
okay.
at it, and so I run out there almost every day.
I don't know how much the leaving part.
There was two tire marks I saw. One went around and stopped, it looked like they turned around and went left. And there was one right by the fire pit. It looked like they just stopped there for a bit and turned around and left. There wasn't any fast.
Made out and what?
Probably.
That's what it's good for, I guess.
And I know,
It's good make out.
and I know it stopped there because there were no footprints, people out getting out. The fire pit was still full of fire, of snow, so no one used it. The tables were still covered, so.
I mean, I don't know how much they got to use will be fast.
Yeah, I don't know. We got used quite a bit this summer. There was a bunch of like little RVs or vans and stuff that I'd see, or. There's one guy on a bike or a motorcycle that was sleeping in a hammock. And he'd set up. But like. Besides that, there's no one around here uses it.
I'm sure it's hard when we still don't have the big easement out there,
Yeah.
you know.
I think. it- The thing is they've allowed it for so long that if they try to stop them. You'd have to go take them to court and all that stuff, but they go inside first and have that.
Take it to the house.
Yeah, not written or anything, but
I don't know if
they've
because
allowed it too long. With the previous owner and current owner.
yeah,
And allowed it too long now, that it's just like, we were pretty much down a lot. We could go and do it.
Well, and again. If we really wanted to push the issue, we just go, what do they call that? Yeah. You know,
That way you have to buy it, isn't it?
Mhm.
Or can you just do it just for using?
they can do it, I think they would, I think they still have to pay a little bit, but it's not. Like, when they go do, houses on the road. They'll go and offer, and if you don't give an offer, then they're gonna end up getting, they're gonna be paying from the dollar instead of what they originally says. Original offers as high as they go, and if you fight it, they just move from me. They're paying almost nothing. For that piece of property, because they basically, so we need this, and we're out of luck, we're taking.
that's just like a thread down here, I don't know how long we're gonna put around it.
Yeah, see, that's if they want to get further be out. They're trying to be nice about it,
Yeah,
because it's red. But at a certain point. If we want to improve that down there with impact fees. How much more fighting we can do about it,
yeah,
you know, so at a certain point, it's either, we gotta get this done. And it's not getting done, I don't just. We're just taking,
yeah,
we're just taking.
you know, when, and his whole thing, he worked out some property with him or whatever, and like. That's not okay, get it done, you know,
When it comes down to it, the town can't take that property.
yeah,
And it would just be the roadway, for the town to take it. And we won't have nothing to do with it, much to say. They'd fight and do whatever, but and down to it, then you have to get it.
yeah.
And I understand you don't wanna try going that way, it's hard to do, but.
Well, and then you talk to Kyle and he wants to make a whole new road, you know.
And I understand, but at whatever point,
Either way, you still got to have an easement.
and at whatever point. There was an agreement made to get down there, I mean, that plan's been done 20+ years, hasn't it?
Yeah, but even with them.
Before there, it was too.
Since the 50s.
So I mean, there's always been, so frankly, if the city went after it, that would lose.
Yeah.
Pretty quick, because. They've been using it for 75 years.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's,
When
they would lose it.
the new fund. When, oh, wait,
Yeah.
so.
So we're not in 20 years yet?
So 17 years ago, is that when that one went in? And there was in doing about a nice,
Well, they've been, like I say, even then they were trying to do the easement, you know.
And I think they've been trying to work on you. I think he just drives a fee.
for a long time.
Yeah, since the, you know, he always comes up, well, I gotta get with my attorney and this. Nothing ever happened.
He's dragging his feet on for whatever reason. I mean, he won't like it if you start, bumper trucks go down this. Such things.
Yeah.
And that's the whole.
That guy starts trying to throw a fit and put it down the back and do some.
Well, and that's the whole thing too, you know, it's gonna be hard, it's hard in the summertime.
They had to call. And see if it was out of the way or not.
Yeah, his.
It goes right over that.
And we, like if we go down with our backhoe, it swings our backhoe stuck. Till it comes back.
See, that's the thing, if they take them and going in, then. You're saying you can't put that freaking sprinkler line across the road.
Block it.
So now what is he doing? Because this is our road now, and we can't block it. Right? So hopefully, that's, I think there's some stuff that. Is talking about and just forgot about.
Until you get brought up ever again.
And then we have.
Put that under old business, would you?
Unfinished business.
It is every month.
Let's table it till next one.
Good thing we haven't had much snow this year, we haven't plowed that yet.
Really?
Yeah. Plowed the gate out, that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, really, you haven't had. Really nothing.
Yeah.
Even what we have now isn't that much snow.
Now that we got the scale, we don't even do that.
Yeah.
As much, yeah. I don't know, it's. It's odd, I think maybe they miss out on starting people something, some days.
He knows how to make good money.
But I do think Marvinson's in a different position than they are because they have that. That oil and gas field stuff right there, so they get a little bit more money than.
Oh, you got their budget is held, like, 3 times, 4 times the budget is.
I don't think it's Marvel.
Not much more deeper than us, you know?
But they can afford, they have 3 full-time guys. And then in the summer they hired 10 kids.
You know what? How many parks?
All lawns, all flowers, most of them weld, they do welding projects for like their parade or something.
I guess they have the money to find it, that's what I know.
Well, the higher up they can get for the metal, for the all these stuff.
It would be nice, you know, it really would be nice to get out there. And I'm not saying that they're not segregation, we found villages. That's not just the clerk they're talking about.
That's all of us.
Everybody has 6 jobs in there. That would be nice to have,
You're talking me.
you know, different things.
Or you're the one that keeps signing up for them.
I don't even try to.
But, I mean, but Cokeville's been the same for. I like listening to Charles, back in the day, 700. Pretty much the same.
Yeah, but then 20 people.
You're not gonna be huge. So something.
If something shows up here, then there'll be good info, but you know, that. There needs to be some way to have a thing here, if not elsewhere.
The problem is though, landlocked, can't do it.
That's.
I don't know, now they obviously.
You can't go. So it was, I think it's already. I don't know.
Do all the way to Montclair to go grocery shopping.
Yeah, when I go down and visit like kids and stuff, it's unbelievable. I have too many people down.
Yeah.
So I don't want it to be ever like that.
That's why I'm nervous going to Washington in a month, you know, like, people going up there.
I like it's nice and. I just like, I really see.
Yes. Sure.
Anything else?
I don't believe there's anything else unless somebody wants to make an motion to adjourn.
Carl makes motion, I'll second.
Did we reconvene?
Oh, we got.
Motion to reconvene.
Motion to reconvene by Brad, seconded by Charles. All in favor?
Aye.
Think I'm gonna need sugar.
Aye, motion carries. Motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Wayne, second by Teresa. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
You okay?
No. Who made the motion to adjourn?
I think that on the funny, right? I don't want to.
I thought that was real water down there.
You're the wall.
Hey Kobe, I'm gonna need you to train me a little bit on this again. One thing I did notice, we probably need to zoom a little more on school. Way out.
She was supposed to go up and she told me to go up.
Someone might have messed with it.
That'd be more.
It's not even like little memories where you can just click a button and it goes straight to the bottom.
That it says wait for.
You want to see the.
I see it.
I like that it says.
Oh, Ben.
Okay, here we go.
Chair, I don't think. I'm always picking it up.